The demon king, Berje, is overwhelmed by a painful memory, reliving the moment his reality shattered. He recalls his powerful black flames failing to defeat the heroes, and the shocking sight of the sword god piercing his mighty scales and heart. Why is it that the sword god can pierce my scales and heart? He wonders in agony and disbelief. This vivid flashback reveals his profound confusion at his own defeat, a wound that clearly still fuels his quest for understanding and revenge. Berje begins to explain his meticulous strategy as a demon king. He proudly recounts graduating as the top student from the Demon King Military Academy. He then strictly adhered to the Demon King's standards, researching the theory, building a towering stronghold, and kidnapping princesses. Berje even cultivated the heroes who came for rescue, seeing their anger as a feast. He believed letting them grow strong made them tastier, confidently expecting world conquest. Berje reveals absorbing the sadness and anger of the heroes and countless civilians to become the strongest demon king, yet questions his defeat. His frustration peaks when a smirking young hero suddenly appears, directly confronting him. "You demon kings always say the same thing," the hero states, accusing Berje of orchestrating his own downfall. Berje, shocked, shouts bullshit. The armed hero further provokes him, exposing Berje's tactic of kidnapping princesses and intentionally leaving clues. The young hero continues to expose Berje's true intentions. Berje angrily explains he wouldn't kill the king, arguing it would cause internal human conflict and direct anger away from him, hindering his growth as a demon king and violating his standards. The hero then reveals another layer. Berje would send monsters to villages to train heroes if they didn't come to his tower, and even filled the tower's first floor with weak monsters for easy skill development. The hero sarcastically expresses gratitude, fully exposing Berje's elaborate system designed to cultivate powerful adversaries. Berje, still indignant, reiterates that his careful cultivation ensured the heroes can't die halfway, explaining it was to gather more energy, following his strict standards. We see glimpses of a hero's intense struggle and Berje's glowing red eye. But the young hero cuts him off, coolly stating that when the tower gets boring, heroes simply kill the Demon King. With an unsettling grin, he reveals this cycle creates new Demon Kings and towers, making it the perfect hunting ground for us heroes. He then turns to us, asking, "Right, guys?" Berje lies defeated, surrounded by the very heroes he cultivated, who now mock him mercilessly. They cruelly thank him for providing the best hunting ground ever, and even call him a godfather. Berje is utterly broken by these taunts, questioning if his grand tower was merely a training ground. The smirking young hero, unfazed, prepares to deliver the killing blow, stating, "Now, goodbye, Demon King." Berje's internal fury erupts as his entire purpose is reduced to a joke, facing the end he never anticipated. Berje lies defeated, surrounded by the very heroes he cultivated, who now mock him mercilessly. They cruelly thank him for providing the best hunting ground ever, and even call him a godfather. Berje is utterly broken by these taunts, questioning if his grand tower was merely a training ground. The smirking young hero, unfazed, prepares to deliver the killing blow, stating, "Now, goodbye, Demon King." Berje's internal fury erupts as his entire purpose is reduced to a joke, facing the end he never anticipated. Berje, bleeding and broken, refuses to accept his humiliating end at the hands of the heroes. He furiously questions the very Demon King's standards he lived by, roaring internally, "I can't die, in vain, NODLIKETHIS." A powerful, crimson aura erupts from him as he defiantly declares, "I am a Demon King." Despite this desperate surge of power and rage, Berje ultimately collapses, leaving the heroes to survey his seemingly final, defeated form on the ground. From the bloodied floor where Berje collapsed, we see his vision blur. Despite his apparent defeat, Berje's fury boils, manifesting in a fierce internal vow. Those who look down on me will pay. His eye reflects a triumphant figure looking down from a throne. Then, the young hero, already claiming victory amidst crackling purple energy, declares to his companions, "Don't touch his head, okay? His horns are mine," clearly marking Berje's horns as his personal trophy. Berje, seemingly defeated on the ground, surprises everyone with a sudden internal hush. His glowing red eye reveals a fierce resolve, as he internally vows to fight on. "Even if I have to give up the last of my life." The young hero, utterly stunned by this unexpected resilience, exclaims, "Wait, no way." As a tremendous burst of crackling purple energy erupts from Berje's body. This overwhelming explosion of power catches the heroes completely off guard, hinting at a desperate, unforeseen turn in the battle. The overwhelming purple energy unleashed by Berje continues to erupt, engulfing everything in a destructive, crackling wave. Amidst the chaos, Berje has a profound realization, internally declaring, "The standard was wrong." He bitterly understands that heroes look down on demon kings because of those very standards. Vowing, "If I'm ever given another chance," Berje defiantly rejects his past, stating, "Screw the standards." He promises to abandon his careful cultivation, declaring, "I'll give them ORCS." As the immense explosion obliterates the landscape, hinting at a terrifying new path. Emerging from the destructive purple energy, Berje's name echoes into the void. Suddenly, his eyes snap open as he finds himself in an opulent, unfamiliar room, now inexplicably clad in a stylish military uniform. He looks around, utterly bewildered by the grand setting and the assembly of similarly dressed individuals. Berje internally questions, "What the hell?" as he tries to make sense of this shocking new reality. Berje, still bewildered by his new surroundings, questions if he's truly alive. His name is called, and he's urged to come forward by the director, who scolds him for acting strangely on his graduation day. Berje, realizing where he is then presented with a red badge. He instantly recognizes it as the symbol of a demon king from the military academy, a shocking revelation about his new reality. Berje fully grasps his new reality, realizing he's been sent back in time to his graduation day, 15 years ago. As the announcer calls for all students to the stage, Berje, despite his confusion, sees this as a crucial chance. He's then singled out as summa cum laude Berje to represent his year. He stands before a massive holographic display, which explicitly projects the very Demon King's standards he once lived by, now visible for all to see. Berje stands before the holographic display, recognizing the Demon King's standard he once memorized and followed diligently. He recalls how these very rules became the trash that became the hero's trinket and led to his demise, questioning if he must now repeat this path. As he clenches his jaw in visible distress, an imp-like demon calls his name, instructing him to read the great Demon King's standard. Berje's internal turmoil is evident as he struggles with this command, his jaw tightening even further. Berje, standing before the projected Demon King's standards, makes a shocking declaration. Instead of reading, he defiantly shouts, "I refuse." His fury erupts as he vehemently proclaims, "I cannot pledge myself to something so unbelievably stupid." He continues, calling the standards foolish and fucked up, culminating in a thunderous roar. The Demon King's standard is trash. This unprecedented outburst leaves the entire graduation assembly including fellow students and faculty, utterly stunned and aghast. Berje's furious rejection of the Demon King's standards sends shockwaves through the academy, instantly turning the summa cum laude into dead last. Archduke Arcane Blarumph, an imposing new figure, erupts in anger, threatening Berje with immediate execution for his defiance. However, acknowledging his past achievements, Arcane offers a single, final chance. Berje must now withdraw his reckless statement and apologize to the entire demon realm or face severe punishment. Archduke Arcane Blarumph gives Berje a final ultimatum: apologize to the demon realm or face deployment to Arian. The other demons are terrified, whispering that Arian is a death sentence. Arcane warns Berje about the domain's dangers, but instead of backing down, Berje defiantly declares, "Send me there." He boldly states he'll go prove the Demon King's standards are garbage. Furious, Arcane immediately assigns him to Arian, as Berje is instantly transported to the ominous, dangerous domain. After Berje's defiant outburst, Archduke Arcane Blarumph lays down the harsh terms of his punishment. Arcane declares Berje will receive no privileges or accompanying demons, and is forbidden from returning until his mission is complete. Berje is then instantly teleported, falling rapidly through a streaking sky. As he descends, Berje realizes he's being sent to Arian, the very place where he met his previous demise. He recalls how he, in his past life, had personally chosen Arian, believing the strongest should conquer the hardest difficulty. Berje crashes into the snowy peaks of the northern continent's Ergest Mountains, the very domain of Arian where he once fell. He recalls his past defeat, internally vowing, "I won't let it happen twice." With fierce determination, he declares he'll now exploit the hero's standards. This new resolve kicks off Chapter 2, as a mysterious new character, a man smoking intently, is introduced, hinting at the challenges ahead in this harsh land. The graduation ceremony continues, shifting focus to other students, including the confident top graduate, Gordon Dyrek, who adjusts his uniform with a satisfied, Good. We learn that the Demon Academy trains demons to serve the Demon Kings. Gordon is then assigned to serve Lord Berje, causing envy among his peers. The second-place graduate laments missing the chance to serve Berje himself. Gordon proudly asserts that while all Demon Kings are great, none compare to the legendary Lord Berje, whose ancient lineage makes graduating alongside him an enormous blessing. The graduation ceremony continues as Gordon Dyrek, the top student, confidently boasts about future conquests alongside Lord Berje, envisioning their grand statue. Gordon proudly declares his ambition to be etched into history, turning to Berje and asking, "Right, Lord Berje?" However, a powerful voice cuts him off, stating, "That's wrong." Berje, consumed by his past, then unleashes his fury, screaming that the Demon King's standards are trash. His explosive declaration stuns the entire assembly, leaving everyone aghast at his unprecedented defiance. Now in the deep regions of Arian, Berje is stunned to find Gordon Dyrek, the top graduate, accompanying him. He recalls being told no one would join him, prompting his internal confusion. Gordon, clearly distressed, confronts Berje, demanding to know why he publicly trashed the Demon King's standards. Gordon expresses his terror at being an Arian, fearing it's a death sentence for them both. Berje, however, calmly dismisses Gordon's panic, maintaining his composure amidst the harsh surroundings. In Arian, Berje observes Gordon's uncharacteristic panic, contrasting it with his past confident self. Berje decides against revealing his regression, realizing Gordon might go insane. Despite his fear, Gordon regains composure, apologizing for his shameful display and vowing to fulfill his duty. This harsh reality directly conflicts with Demon King's standard Rule 1, mandating a discoverable tower. Gordon explains Arian's dangerous, monster-filled mountains make it impossible for heroes to approach, highlighting the standard's flaws. In the harsh, snowy mountains of Arian, Gordon desperately pleads with Berje not to build a tower there, urging him to relocate. But Berje defiantly insists, "No, I'm building the tower here." He then reveals a mysterious tower seed, stabbing it into the frozen ground, explaining it requires Demon King blood to grow. A horrified Gordon protests, seeing this as a direct betrayal of the Demon King's standards and their pride. Berje, however, dismisses his fears, understanding Gordon's ingrained beliefs. He reflects that only a traumatic brush with death, like his own, can truly free a demon from such ancient traditions, clenching his bloodied fist with grim resolve. In the snowy mountains of Arian, Berje emphatically tells a distressed Gordon that the Demon King's standards are garbage, especially here. As Berje continues to drip his blood, the tower seed erupts, pulsing with intense, swirling red energy that engulfs them both. He then reveals the shocking truth behind his defiance. Arian is swarming with heroes. This completely redefines their mission, setting the stage for Berje's cunning new plan. In the perilous land of Arian, Berje is visibly shocked, exclaiming, "Way too many of them," as hordes of menacing heroes appear before them. Simultaneously, the newly planted tower seed springs to life, identifying Berje as its user by race and name before rapidly growing into a colossal, imposing structure. Berje reveals past Demon Kings died here because humans discovered a certain mechanism within the tower, which they used to turn the Demon King's standards against them. He concludes that in Arian, only the hero's standards apply, leaving Gordon utterly perplexed. In the snowy expanse of Arian, Berje's newly formed tower now stands complete and imposing. Gordon, still reeling, watches as Berje calmly declares, "Let's go inside." As they enter, Gordon is utterly bewildered. The first floor, and indeed every subsequent floor, including the Demon King's chamber, is completely empty. A tower without traps, a Demon King without privileges. Gordon ponders, observing the stark, monster-free interior. This shocking emptiness defies everything Gordon knows about a Demon King's tower, hinting at Berje's radical new strategy. In the newly built, empty tower, Gordon attempts to guide Berje, asserting they must still follow Demon King's standards. Rule 2. The Demon King must kidnap a prince or princess. He explains that a royal close to the throne yields more demonic energy, then specifically advises Berje to abduct the highest-ranking princess from the nearby kingdom of Corzin to absorb their kingdom's sorrow. Gordon anticipates Berje's refusal, but to his absolute shock, Berje calmly agrees to the plan, leaving Gordon utterly bewildered by his Demon King's unexpected compliance. Inside the empty tower, Berje reveals he already has a specific princess in mind for abduction. Gordon, relieved and enthusiastic, offers to assist, but Berje instructs him to guard the tower, emphasizing that the Demon King's residence must not be empty. Gordon is overjoyed, believing Berje is finally acting like a true Demon King. He eagerly asks who Berje plans to bring, and Berje, now with demon wings, sets off towards the kingdom of Hilderin, the southernmost nation on the continent, to secure his target. High above the kingdom of Hilderin, Berje soars towards a royal chamber, wings spread against the moonlit sky. Inside, he finds the 13th princess, described as having the least presence. Berje dramatically declares, "I've come to take you, princess," a choice explicitly deemed the total opposite of the standards. Now inside, Berje faces the young royal directly, who, surprised by his sudden appearance, asks, "Who are you?" This bold move sets the stage for Berje unconventional new strategy. Berje confronts the 13th princess in Hilderin, dramatically announcing himself as the Demon King who has come to kidnap you. Unexpectedly, the princess giggles, asking if he's sure you can handle me. Berje, surprised but confident, asserts his power, proclaiming, "Of course I can. I'm a Demon King." She then calmly agrees, "Then I'll let you take me," offering her hands. Her strange composure immediately puzzles Berje, who wonders what she's plotting. She reveals she always expected such an event, hinting at a deeper game. Berje remains wary of the princess, internally vowing not to be tricked, even as she denies plotting anything, wondering how she could possibly set a trap. He acknowledges her point, but can't shake an uncomfortable feeling as she calmly extends her hand and asks, "Then shall we?" The scene then shifts to the snowy Regressed Mountains and Berje Tower. Moments later, Berje returns, carrying the seemingly unconscious princess into the tower where Gordon anxiously greets him, relieved he's come back safely. Berje returns to his tower, directing Gordon to place the kidnapped princess on the 4th floor instead of a prison. He explains her lack of resistance earned her some leniency, which Gordon accepts. Gordon then mentions he has something important to tell Berje. The scene then shifts to the princess, now alone on the tower's cold, empty 4th floor, confirming internally that she's truly been abducted. She notes the complete absence of pillows, blankets, maids, or gardens, a stark contrast to her kingdom. However, a knowing smirk appears on her face, suggesting this might be exactly what she wanted. On the tower's 4th floor, the princess internally muses that her situation isn't so bad. Meanwhile, Berje receives an unexpected invitation to a welcome party from the Tower of Beasts. He cynically dismisses it as a pathetic attempt to haze him, recalling that Demon Kings are typically too proud to cooperate. However, Berje acknowledges that Arian's unique dangers have historically forced other Demon Kings to put aside their pride and work together. Though he previously ignored them, Berje now considers at least having some light exchanges with these unusual allies. Berje now finds himself at the imposing Tower of Beasts, where a new Demon King is revealed. Draxen, the fierce Demon King of Beasts, declares his name and 70 years of rule over this domain. He immediately confronts Berje, questioning if he's the new Demon King and mocking his unimpressive appearance for rejecting the standards. An annoyed Berje demands Draxen state his business, only for Draxen to reveal Archduke Arcane Blarmf sent him to watch over the new arrival, hinting at a new layer of surveillance for Berje. At the Tower of Beasts, Draxen reveals Archduke Arcane sent him to watch over Berje. Berje, unfazed, dismissively refers to Arcane as a noisy old vampire geezer, infuriating Draxen. Enraged, Draxen slams his claw into the ground, tearing off a piece, and demands Berje lick it to be pardoned for his impudence. However, Berje remains completely calm, countering Draxen's challenge by coolly asking, "Demon King of Beasts, do you truly not know why I'm here?" This defiance sets the stage for their impending conflict. At the Tower of Beasts, Draxen reveals his reason for confrontation. Berje mocked the Demon King orthodox. He explains a core rule: Demon Kings cannot kill each other. However, Draxen immediately defies this, brutally attacking Berje. Unfazed, Berje questions, "Do you think I'd really follow that rule?" as he unleashes a powerful aura that completely stuns Draxen. Draxen, now panicked, recalls Archduke Arcane's warning about Berje not properly kidnapping a princess, and the threat of losing his own authority if he doesn't report within a month. Back at the Tower of Beasts, Berje boldly declares to Draxen that he's already kidnapped a princess. Draxen and his beast-like demons are visibly stunned by this revelation, as Berje coolly adds, "But she suits my taste." Later, back in his own tower, Gordon praises Berje, saying he's excellently shown the majesty of a demon king and believes Draxen can't do anything more. However, Berje, while dismissing the praise, instructs Gordon to go check the princess's condition, internally contemplating how to make use of the princess. Gordon readily agrees, preparing for their next strategic move. Berje sits contemplating his situation, finding the repercussions of his defiance against the Demon King Orthodox quite troublesome. He acknowledges the consequences were bigger than expected, yet defiantly reaffirms he'd make the same choice. Standing resolute, Berje proclaims he'd rather die than bow my head to trash. He vows not to repeat past mistakes, planning to rebuild his foundation from scratch. Observing a holographic display, Berje notes that kidnapping a low-ranking princess, while costing minimal demonic energy, is the safest method for his new strategy. Berje is startled to see a surprisingly high score displayed on his screen, wondering about the unexpected points. Suddenly, he receives a video message from Draxen, the Demon King of Beasts. Draxen, sounding surprisingly cordial, congratulates Berje on his achievements in Aryan, even hinting that his earlier defiance might have been a clever tactic. However, Berje senses something deeply amiss about Draxen's changed tone. His thoughts are abruptly interrupted as Gordon bursts into the room, frantically shouting about a problem on the 4th floor, leaving Berje utterly stunned. Gordon's urgent news leads Berje to the tower's 4th floor. To his absolute shock, the once barren space has been transformed into a lush, vibrant ecosystem, complete with flowing water and butterflies. Berje can only exclaim, "What the?" as he realizes this naturalization is still in progress. He then finds the kidnapped princess calmly standing amidst elemental spirits, greeting him warmly with, "Oh, you're here." Berje internally recognizes her incredible feat. She created an ecosystem in a magic tower. This startling development changes everything. Berje, still reeling from the princess's astonishing power, realizes her elemental mastery could only belong to one individual. He confronts her, asserting, "You're not the 13th princess." She calmly agrees. "As expected, you mistook me for Elena." Berje's shock deepens as she triumphantly reveals, "My name is Hernan Hilderin. I am the first princess of the Hilderin kingdom." This shocking abduction of the highest-ranking royal will undoubtedly have unforeseen consequences. The situation escalates quickly for Berje. News of Princess Hernan's abduction reaches her father, the King of Hilderin, who furiously vows to gather his strongest heroes and entire military to behead the foolish Demon King. He demands his princess be returned. Back in the tower, Hernan, still smirking, refers to her earlier warning, then reveals she hid her immense mana with a royal heirloom ring. She then boldly challenges Berje, asking, "Do while you wantito, SEND-MEBCK?" Berje is clearly caught off guard by her power and deception, realizing the true challenge she poses. Following Princess Hernan's bold challenge, Berje internally weighs his predicament. He realizes returning her would lead to mockery and hinder his demonic energy. With a determined resolve, Berje states, "I gotta stick this one through." Suddenly, a system alert flashes, detecting rage targeted toward the Demon King, and his possessed demonic energy points are tallied at 19,521. Berje, unfazed by the warnings, firmly tells Hernan that despite her true identity, she remains his hostage, maintaining his absolute control. At the kingdom of Hilderin, the king furiously declares, "Kill the foolish Demon King, and bring back my princess." His advisors attempt to calm him, stating they don't yet know which Demon King is responsible. The king, roaring with impatience, demands they hurry and figure it out. A strategist then raises a suspicious point, noting that another Demon King, the Demon King of Lust, was recently killed by heroes after abducting a prince. He questions if it isn't strange that another demon king would attempt such a move so soon, leaving the king and his aides stunned by the perplexing timing. Back in the kingdom of Hilderin, the king's fury intensifies as he realizes a new demon king is responsible for his daughter's abduction. His strategists quickly track the teleportation magic, pinpointing its destination north to the Ergest Mountains. There, Berje's tower now stands prominently. Inside, Gordon reports the Hilderin army's imminent arrival, questioning if Berje can handle the overwhelming force headed their way. Gordon asks, "Don't you think they'll be a bit too much for you to handle?" Despite Gordon's worries about the approaching Hilderin army, Berje confidently dismisses the threat, stating, "It's fine." He explains that Hilderin, located at the continent's south, cannot simply march their forces through all the nations separating them from Berje's northern tower. This geopolitical reality forces the Hilderin king to realize his army has no direct path. Berje concludes they'll have no choice but to hire a hero guild, a decision the king then makes, declaring, "Contact the hero guild." This plays right into Berje's cunning new strategy. The king of Hilderin's call for heroes to rescue Princess Ernan has hit a snag. Heroes in the guild are openly refusing the dangerous mission to Ergest, a region teeming with monsters, with one hero exclaiming, "I'm not doing this hero thing to die." Berje smugly anticipated this, noting that mercenary hero guilds prioritize profit over peril. Gordon observes Berje's uncanny foresight, wondering if he's been through this before. The Hilderin king is left fuming, realizing no one is willing to face Berje in the treacherous north, playing perfectly into the demon king's hands. The king of Hilderin is still furious, learning that even with many heroes in Aryan, their mercenary nature means it will take time to form a rescue party. Meanwhile, Berje observes a holographic display, realizing his current demonic energy isn't enough to control an entire army of heroes, despite the waiting period. Recalling a past fear, he makes a bold decision. Berje then instructs Gordon to contact Draxon, declaring, "I'm going to sell demonic energy." Gordon reacts with utter, terrified disbelief at this unprecedented move. Berje's shocking plan to sell demonic energy leaves Gordon utterly aghast, who shouts about exchanging their very lifeblood, the currency that transcends their species, for mere human money. But Berje calmly explains his reasoning. His current demonic energy isn't enough to scout heroes, and human money is the key to achieving his goals. We then see Berje, cloaked and disguised as a mercenary, approaching the Holtenwerk fortress city. As guards confront him, wary of a lone traveler in the dangerous Ergest Mountains, Berje prepares to reveal his true intentions. Disguised in Holtenwerk fortress city, Berje is questioned by wary guards about his identity and trustworthiness. He internally resolves that he can't navigate this unfamiliar city alone and needs to find a guide. Meanwhile, inside the Scarlet Hawk Mercenary Guild headquarters, a lounging captain boasts about the easy life, dismissing his subordinates urged to leave. He then scoffs at news of a new demon king kidnapping the princess of Hilderin, confidently stating demon kings always build accessible towers. This casual dismissal shows how little these mercenaries understand Berje's true intentions. Inside the Scarlet Hawk Mercenary Guild headquarters, two mercenaries are discussing the princess of Hilderin's abduction. One marvels at a demon king venturing to the continent's far end for a princess, noting the hero guild even turned down the dangerous job. His companion cynically dismisses it all as just a show, claiming the king and guild are pulling a trick to milk more money out of it. They laugh about heroes being obsessed with money, unaware Berje, disguised nearby, is observing their conversation. He suddenly appears behind them, startling them with a menacing glare. In the Scarlet Hawk Mercenary Guild, Berje, still in disguise, confronts the startled mercenaries. One demands to know, "Who are you?" Berje, with a chilling smirk, declares, "Leave just one behind. The rest of you, get out." Two mercenaries charge, shouting, "You're not getting out of here alive." But Berje effortlessly dispatches them and their companions with powerful blows, sending them flying. He stands victorious over the last conscious mercenary, demonstrating his overwhelming power to secure the guide he needs. Berje, still in disguise at the Scarlet Hawk Mercenary Guild, quickly asserts his dominance. He effortlessly dispatches the charging mercenaries with a flurry of powerful blows, sending them sprawling. The remaining mercenary stares up in pure terror, shouting, "A monster!" as Berje looks down with a chilling, demonic smirk. His overwhelming display of power leaves the mercenaries completely broken. Meanwhile, other onlookers casually remark, "They're fighting again," hinting at the city's rough nature as Berje secures his guide. After effortlessly dispatching the Scarlet Hawk mercenaries, Berje stands over the last terrified survivor. He coolly offers to spare him if he answers his questions, to which the mercenary desperately agrees. Berje then demands to know, "Where is the slave market?" The scene shifts as Berje, guided by the trembling mercenary, arrives at a grand building. Inside, he observes caged human slaves. His guide nervously asks if they are not to your liking, hinting Berje might be looking for something else entirely. At the slave market, Berje, still in disguise, asks his unsettlingly grinning guide for more rare stuff. Berje cynically observes the guide, thinking humans' desire for money is no different from demons' desire for energy. As they move deeper, Berje reveals his intention to buy slaves, specifically the otherworldly species that the humans captured. He then specifies his target. An elf known for its integrity would be best, as a caged elf is shown, revealing Berje's calculated move to acquire a unique asset. Back at the slave market, Berje reveals his cunning strategy for the captured elf. He plans to use them as a spy, leveraging their species' reputation for innocence to sow chaos among the heroes. Meanwhile, news spreads as the renowned hero Hillencargill arrives at the Hildren King's court. The king expresses his trust, and Hillen confidently accepts the perilous mission. Hillen proudly declares he will rescue Princess Ernan and return with the Demon King's head, all in the name of justice, setting the stage for a dramatic confrontation. At the bustling slave market, Berje, still in disguise, points to a caged elf, declaring he's here to buy this elven slave. He dismisses his guide's unease about the elf's temperament, then leads them both to a private room. There, Berje stands before the captured elf, observing its noble features. With a subtle click, he unleashes a powerful surge of purple energy. The terrified elf immediately reacts to this overwhelming aura, exclaiming in shock, "This energy! Are you a demon?" Berje's true identity is now laid bare to his new acquisition. Berje, having just revealed his demonic nature, makes a calculated offer to the captive elf. He proposes a chance to get your revenge on humans in exchange for loyalty. The elf, though sensing a tempting offer, expresses deep distrust, stating, "I can't trust demons as much as humans." Berje promises safety and freedom after 50 years of service, suggesting it's better than humiliation. But the elf remains profoundly skeptical, questioning how to trust a demon whose kind seeks to destroy the world tree. Berje, still facing the captive elf, acknowledges the unusual nature of a demon seeking an elf's assistance. With a determined smirk, Berje makes a dramatic vow on the Demon King's standards, promising he will not lay a hand on the world tree. He then demands the elf pledge allegiance to him for 50 years, sealed by their own world tree oath. The elf, revealing his name as Granada of the Maple Tribe, finds Berje strange, but agrees, with one condition. He'll only make his vow once he meets the Demon King, who supposedly sent Berje. Berje smirks knowingly, a new alliance potentially forming. Berje Diaz confirms his identity to Granada, who, initially stunned, bursts into disbelieving laughter. Granada mocks Berje, questioning why a demon king would be in a slave market, so far from their tower, to buy an elf. He sarcastically suggests a 100-year allegiance would be more fitting for a genuine demon king. The scene then shifts to Berje's tower. Back there, Berje reminds Granada of that 100-year contract. Realizing he's been outsmarted, Granada furiously shouts, "You're really a demon king?" calling the whole situation a scam. Inside Berje's tower, Granada explodes in frustration, complaining about the empty floors and calling it a sloppy tower with no monsters. He rages, "In no way I'm working in a place like this." Berje Diaz, however, unleashes a burst of formidable purple energy, reminding Granada, "Have you forgotten? You and I made a contract." Overwhelmed by the raw demonic power, Granada finally concedes, internally acknowledging Berje truly is a demon king. Berje then reveals that despite his tower's unconventional design, not a single monster in the treacherous Urgest Mountains has dared to attack them, hinting at his growing influence. After his 100-year pledge to Berje, Granada, the elf, believes he's about to embark on a vital mission of vengeance. However, Berje, with a sly smirk, casually instructs him, "All right, first, prepare me a meal." Granada is utterly bewildered, shown in an apron and cooking, realizing his grand expectations might be misplaced. Princess Ernan then surprisingly appears, offering to help, asking if she can make some vegetable bread. The scene then shifts to Berje, Ernan, and Granada sharing a meal in the tower's dining room, a far cry from Granada's anticipated evil plan. At Berje's tower, Berje, Ernan, and Granada are sharing a meal. Granada, realizing the gravity of the situation, confronts Berje, shouting, "Are you out of your mind? You kidnapped the crown princess." He rages about the empty tower, questioning how they'll stop heroes. Berje calmly states, "That's why I bought you," instructing Granada to eat. Berje even compliments Granada's cooking, while Ernan proudly adds she helped. Granada is utterly bewildered by the surreal dinner, especially when Berje seems to imply he expects Granada to fight the heroes here. Following their tense meal, Berje Diaz clarifies Granada's role, stating he'll be disrupting the human world in his place. Granada, realizing Berje wants him as a spy, is then challenged. Berje announces, "I need to check your skills," urging Granada to come at me. The elf questions how he can possibly beat a demon king in his own tower, but Berje offers a tempting deal. He'll fight one-handed, without demonic energy, and if Granada wins, their contract will be reduced by 50 years. Granada, eyes wide with determination, accepts the challenge, declaring, "I'll take you on with all I've got." Berje Diaz and Granada are locked in an intense one-on-one battle, with Berje fighting one-handed. Granada, showing surprising agility, unleashes powerful, vine-like attacks. Berje notices his unique ability to absorb tower mana for physical strength, realizing this elf is far from average. Granada, confident in his prowess, taunts Berje, "Blame yourself for picking the wrong opponent in the wrong place." As Granada prepares a decisive blow, shouting he'll take back his years, Berje simply smirks, thinking, "Yes, this should do," clearly satisfied with the elf's impressive display. Back in the tower, Berje Diaz, with a menacing smirk, reminds Granada he's facing a demon king. Berje projects his powerful demonic form, warning Granada, "I'll make sure to control my strength, so I don't kill you." Granada can only utter, "Wait," before the scene abruptly shifts. We're now outside the Red Hawk mercenary headquarters, where the captain, who Berje previously encountered, greets him with surprising enthusiasm. "It's an honor to see you again," the captain exclaims, eager to be hired for a year. Berje's previous display of power has clearly changed their dynamic, setting the stage for his next move. After securing the Scarlet Hawk mercenary captain, Berje silences any lingering doubts by presenting a massive deposit of gold, instantly winning over the entire squad. The mercenaries, now loyal, declare they'll follow the captain for life. Berje then instructs the captain to integrate a new member into his team to relay orders. As one mercenary questions having a stranger, Granada, the elf Berje acquired, steps forward with a disarming smile, introducing himself. The other mercenaries are left wide-eyed and stunned by the unexpected addition to their ranks. Berje observes Granada, now fully integrated with the Scarlet Hawk mercenaries, acknowledging their unique value in the perilous Urgest region. He then assigns the team their crucial first mission, commanding them to investigate Hillen Cargill, the hero employed by Hilderin. The mercenary captain eagerly responds, "Yes, Sir." With Granada handling the external diversions, Berje returns to his thriving tower. He declares it's now my turn to get stronger, setting his sights on his own power development. Berje, now focused on his own power, discovers a unique way to grow stronger after selling his demonic energy, the Spirit Blossom. These rare, glowing purple flowers absorb immense natural mana in the untouched Urgest Mountains, refining their energy into a potent boost. Berje declares, "I'm going to find some spirit blossoms," but his aide, Gordon Dyrick, expresses concern. Gordon warns that finding them is like finding a needle in the desert amidst dangerous monsters. Berje, undeterred, prepares to face this new challenge. As Berje and Gordon discuss the elusive spirit blossoms, a sudden knock interrupts their conversation. Princess Ernan peeks in, asking if they're busy, before revealing her immense excitement. She happily skips alongside Berje outside the tower, accompanied by her elemental spirits. Ernan reminds Berje of his promise to let her decorate the fourth floor as she desires, admitting she's been quite bored. Her demand hints at more changes for Berje's tower and a new dynamic between the Demon King and his powerful, spirited captive. Berje observes Princess Ernan, internally noting her remarkable ability to decorate his tower and wondering how much further she'll take it. Ernan, meanwhile, checks her elemental powers, thinking, "Good thing I came by to check." Suddenly, Berje swoops in, grabbing the surprised princess and exclaiming, "Hold on tight." With his demon wings, he takes off into the sky, leaving Ernan to cry out, "Wait, I'm not ready," as they rapidly ascend. Her terrified screams echo as their unexpected flight begins. Berje carries Princess Ernan into the sky, where she gazes down in newfound wonder. "Wow!" she exclaims, realizing the world's immense scale, something she hadn't noticed during her abduction. Ernan reflects on her past, confined to endless training, thinking that was her life's only path. Now soaring over the treacherous Urgest Mountains, she muses to Berje that she's likely the first to ever fly here. Berje, however, remains unimpressed, curtly responding, I don't care. Princess, what you have to do is dash," hinting at her next task. Still soaring through the sky, Princess Ernan boldly tells Berje to call me Ernan, adding they'll be seeing each other for a long time. Berje internally admits he might have given her too much leeway. He then sternly reminds her to stop forgetting your place, threatening her with the underground prison. A chastened Ernan quickly apologizes, and Berje tasks her spirits with finding the elusive spirit blossoms. As they continue their flight, Berje instructs her to come back safely. He initially doubts they'll find anything quickly, but is soon proven wrong when an elemental spirit joyfully exclaims, "Found it," revealing their immediate success. Berje, still soaring with Ernan, gets exciting news as an elemental spirit joyfully exclaims, "Found it." Below, a glowing spirit blossom appears amidst the snow, but their prize is guarded. A group of formidable orcs emerges, surrounding the blossom. Berje calmly descends, asserting his authority, obey the Demon King's order. Do not touch the spirit blossom and simply leave. However, the orcs defiantly refuse, threatening, "We know like you die." Berje smirks, realizing Gordon's warning about dangerous monsters was spot on. Berje Diaz, facing the defiant orcs guarding the spirit blossom, dons a menacing smirk. He dismisses their refusal, declaring, "Expecting beasts to think. How foolish of me. I shall simply burn you all to ashes." The orcs, enraged, roar back, vowing to kill him and protect what is ours. With a powerful surge, Berje unleashes overwhelming purple energy, engulfing the screaming orcs. His devastating attack quickly silences their defiance, demonstrating his ruthless resolve. The fate of the spirit blossom and the orcs is now sealed. Berje Diaz's overwhelming purple energy devastates the defiant orcs. Even as they are consumed, one enraged orc desperately cries, "Get the weak one first," attempting to target Princess Ernan. Unfazed, Berje unleashes an even more immense torrent of power, creating a swirling barrier that completely shields Ernan while simultaneously obliterating the attacking beasts. Protected, Ernan calmly observes the chaos, realizing that even powerful orcs are utterly helpless against Berje's might. Berje Diaz, seeing the extent of his power, begins to draw a new conclusion. After unleashing his full might, Berje Diaz's destructive purple energy finally dissipates, leaving a desolate, snowy landscape in its wake. With the threat gone, the glowing spirit blossom is now accessible. Princess Ernan marvels at its intense purity, exclaiming, "Wow, it's so pure in mana." Berje retrieves the rare hyacinth spirit blossom. Though he initially warns Ernan not to covet it, he then offers her a surprising deal. "If you find more, you can have one." Ernan's eyes light up, seeing a potential reward for her unique abilities. After Berje found his spirit blossom, Princess Ernan, despite her best efforts, grew exhausted trying to locate more, finding nothing. Berje, holding the glowing hyacinth spirit blossom, reflected on Ernan, admitting he initially thought she was a mistake, but now sees her as potentially more useful. His thoughts were interrupted when Gordon arrived with an urgent update from Granada. Gordon revealed that hero Hillenkargil, along with 22 other heroes, had departed Hildurin's capital. However, the critical news is that they are not heading towards Berje's tower in August. Gordon excitedly presents Berje with detailed plans for Hillenkargil's hero journey, outlining how they'd traditionally grow through quests. But Berje, with a chilling smirk, instantly dismisses every proposal, declaring, "All of these are dismissed." He asserts they won't send any monsters or create interruptions this time, leaving Gordon utterly perplexed. Berje then instructs Gordon to tell Granada to join the hero's journey, helping them build trust. Gordon worries about their undefended tower, but Berje calmly assures him he'll reinforce it with a surprising new ally, with a dwarf. Back at his tower, Gordon is absolutely horrified by Berje Diaz's mention of a dwarf, shouting about having a dwarf, a human princess, and an elf in their tower. He fears they'll become a laughingstock. Berje calmly explains he doesn't just need a dwarf, but dwarven magical tools to reinforce the tower. He then reveals his cunning plan. Heroes, expecting weak monsters on the first floor, will instead be met with dozens of cannons. Gordon is left utterly stunned, realizing this radical departure from the Demon King's standards will catch the heroes completely off guard. Gordon reacts with utter disbelief, shouting, "Holy shit! Another abduction," as Berje's next move becomes clear. Our attention then shifts to the bustling dwarven underground city of Wolfner, where the rhythmic clanging of hammers fills the air. Amidst a shower of sparks, we're introduced to Lozier Friedrich, hailed as the best dwarven blacksmith. He works with focused determination, letting out a simple humph, completely unaware of the looming threat. The scene concludes with the ominous revelation that he's now scheduled to be kidnapped by a rogue demon king. Berje arrives at the impressive dwarven underground city of Wolfner, internally reflecting that while he's fought countless dwarves before, this is his very first time actually visiting their city. Still cloaked in disguise, he enters the Midnight Inn and asks the grizzled innkeeper for directions to the most outstanding blacksmith. The innkeeper, noting Berge's direct approach, confirms that dwarves indeed love money as much as heroes do. He then explains the city's unique, two-step security lift system to access the inner city, designed to identify any intruders. Following the innkeeper's directions, Berje descends further into the dwarven underground city of Wolfner. He's instructed to head to the lowest floor and the deepest room, where a grand, ornate doorway awaits him. There, amidst fiery sparks of intense forging, he will find the city's best blacksmith. The final revelation names this master craftsman as Lozier Friedrich, the very dwarf Berje is looking for to reinforce his tower. Berge observes the bustling forge, closing in on his target. Berje watches Lozier Friedrich, the master blacksmith, intensely forge in the dwarven underground city. Berge is impressed by Lozier's skill, internally noting how his display of metallurgy makes it seem like his mana is dancing. He contemplates quietly abducting the dwarf, thinking, now if I could just quietly abduct him. However, Lozier suddenly senses Berge's presence, erupting in fiery energy and preparing to fight. Berge is stunned, realizing this dwarf is far more powerful than he anticipated, questioning, could this dwarf be a... This unexpected power changes Berge's plan for a simple abduction. Berge is confronted by Lozier Friedrich, who erupts in fiery energy. Lozier proudly declares himself the blacksmith who contains the power of heroes and warns Berge, you will not leave this city alive. Berge, unfazed, smirks, calling Lozier pretty weak and correcting him. ALSO, I'm not a demon. With a surge of red aura, Berge reveals his true, winged demon king form, declaring, I'm a demon king. Lozier is instantly overwhelmed, thrown back, coughing and collapsing, utterly defeated by the demon king's might. A loud impact shakes the dwarven underground city, drawing attention to Lozier's forge. Dwarven guards rush in, finding the area in disarray. They quickly realize the master blacksmith is gone, shouting, Lozier's gone. Panic erupts across the city as an intruder is reported, and orders are given to block all the exits. Meanwhile, Berje, cloaked, makes his escape with the unconscious Lozier. Lozier, regaining some awareness, mumbles about a demon king and a princess, but Berge silences him, denying any interest in a royal, leaving Lozier skeptical. Berje, still disguised, presses the innkeeper for information on a secret underground passage used by dwarven blacksmiths during emergencies, demanding to be guided. Meanwhile, the defeated Lozier Friedrich lies slumped, lamenting his fate. He curses the demon king's presence, revealing his deep fear of such beings and questioning why this ordeal has befallen him. Berge then offers a surprising deal to the terrified Lozier. He'll kidnap the princess instead and let Lozier go, leaving the dwarf utterly bewildered and suspicious of Berge's true intentions. Berje confronts the dwarf Lozier Friedrich, who unleashes a fiery aura, declaring himself, the blacksmith WHO contains the power of heroes. But Berge easily overpowers him, revealing his true demon king form and utterly defeating the dwarf. Later, Berge offers Lozier a deal. He'll kidnap the princess instead, and Lozier will be spared. Lozier, bewildered, seems to accept this strange offer, while Berge makes a solemn vow on the demon king's standards. The dwarf king's blacksmith, Lozier Friedrich, is nowhere to be found in his workshop. Princess Louise World arrives, demanding to know where he is, only to be met with the shocking news that he's been kidnapped. She vehemently denies this, insisting he's a hero and not someone who'd be taken captive, but her guards insist otherwise. Back in the Dwarf King's castle, Princess Louise's world is furious, demanding to know where blacksmith Lozier Friedrich has gone. Her guards confirm he's been kidnapped, but she refuses to believe it, insisting he's a hero. Meanwhile, Berje navigates a dark, narrow secret passage with an unconscious Lozier, pushing him forward and urging him to hurry. This frantic escape highlights the chaos Berje has unleashed. Berje confronts Lozier Friedrich, who, after being shown the error of his ways, offers his services as a blacksmith. Lozier, incredibly useful, can craft any weapon and even claims to possess the power of heroes. "Use me to your convenience," he exclaims, a surprising offer from a hero to a demon king. Berje, intrigued by this unexpected turn, realizes this dwarf might be the key to reinforcing his tower. Berje confronts Lozier Friedrich, the blacksmith who claimed to contain the power of heroes. Lozier, defiant at first, is quickly overpowered by Berje. After his defeat, Berje offers Lozier a deal: spare him and his princess if Lozier swears allegiance. Lozier, bewildered but seemingly accepting, agrees. Meanwhile, Princess Ernan, back on the 4th floor of Berje's tower, has transformed the space into a lush garden, only to be surprised when Berje arrives with the dwarf, ready to put his new acquisition to work. Berje confronts two heroes who have captured Lozier Friedrich, the dwarf blacksmith. When one hero questions Berje's sanity for bringing a dwarf, Berje dismisses them, stating he has something to tell Lozier. Berje then reveals to Lozier that he was the one who kidnapped him, not the heroes, leaving the dwarf stunned. Lozier's confusion turns to hysterical laughter as Berje explains his actions were merely a natural consequence of the hero's interference. Berje confronts two heroes who have captured Lozier Friedrich, the dwarf blacksmith. When one hero questions Berje's sanity for bringing a dwarf, Berje dismisses them, stating he has something to tell Lozier. Berje then reveals to Lozier that he was the one who kidnapped him, not the heroes, leaving the dwarf stunned. Lozier's confusion turns to hysterical laughter as Berje explains his actions were merely a natural consequence of the hero's interference. At the Ergist Hero's Journey Preparation Station, a mysterious figure monitors heroes preparing for their quests. He notes their fear of the new Demon King and his black flames, observing that their killing intent hasn't faded. He believes this is a battle against time, as heroes eventually lose interest and stop growing. He concludes that this Demon King is weakening them, not with monsters, but by understanding human nature, wondering if there's ever been a Demon King like him. Back in the Dwarven city, Berje, now revealed as a Demon King, confronts the master blacksmith Lozier Friedrich. Lozier, initially defiant and boasting about his power of heroes, is quickly overwhelmed by Berje's true form. Berje then offers a deal: spare Lozier and his princess if he swears allegiance. Lozier, bewildered but seemingly accepting, agrees. Meanwhile, Princess Ernan has transformed the tower's 4th floor into a lush garden, only to be surprised by Berje's arrival with his newly acquired dwarf. Berje confronts Lozier Friedrich, the dwarf blacksmith, about a magical tool that hides mana. Lozier, terrified, explains it took him 3 years to invent, but Berje dismisses his fear. Berje then activates a similar device on Lozier's head, disabling him. With Lozier incapacitated, Berje prepares to leave, insisting he'll never take the tool off. After a month of gathering supplies across various kingdoms, Berje returns to Wolfner, his dark cloak contrasting with the cavernous dwarven city. Meanwhile, Princess Ernan, impatient and furious, berates her subordinates for failing to find Lozier Friedrich. She's particularly annoyed that the blacksmith's tunnels are too numerous to search efficiently, and they've likely already escaped. Back in the dwarven city, Princess Ernan is furious. She gives her subordinates 2 weeks to find Lozier Friedrich, threatening them with death if they fail. As they scramble to fill the tunnels, Hernan discovers a broken weapon, a testament to Lozier's craftsmanship. Her fury then ignites as she vows to make Lozier complete her weapon, demanding he stay alive. Back in the Dwarven city, Princess Louise is furious about the kidnapped blacksmith Lozier Frederick, yelling, "You're going to die, okay?" Meanwhile, a disguised Berje Diaz holds Lozier captive, dismissively stating he doesn't care about past promises. Lozier, revealing his skill, offers to craft Berje any weapon, leading to a tense standoff as Berje questions his motives. Back in the Dwarven city, Berje Diaz confronts the blacksmith, Lozier, who's revealed to be a hero. Lozier, terrified, offers to be a spy and forge weapons for Berje. Berje dismisses the hero's plea, but Lozier's desperate offer to craft anything leads to a tense standoff. Meanwhile, Princess Louise is furious about Lozier's kidnapping, unaware he's now being forced to work for the Demon King. In the midst of a chaotic confrontation, a furious elven woman demands to know who Berje is, vehemently claiming the blacksmith as her slave. Berje, however, dismisses her claim, stating, "He's my slave. He's going to make my weapons forever." The elven woman retaliates, but Berje unleashes his overwhelming power, cutting her down. This brutal display of strength leaves the woman stunned, her claim over the blacksmith shattered. The battle intensifies in the Dwarven city as Louise Werft, the second princess of the Dwarven kingdom, unleashes her formidable strength. She charges forward, her power crackling, and declares, "It's your turn now, Lozier." Berje Diaz, observing this, remains poised, his own dark energy swirling around him. Louise's fierce attack targets Lozier, who is clearly in a dire situation, caught between the princess's fury and Berje's machinations. In a flashback, Berje reflects on a past encounter with a powerful woman, regretting he couldn't kill her before she grew stronger. He notes he's not as strong as he was before regression and fears being captured if he uses too much power. Meanwhile, a dwarf blacksmith is in distress, realizing he's being targeted by a demon king. Berje, holding the blacksmith captive, dismisses his pleas and reveals his intention to use the blacksmith's skills for his own sinister plans. The battle intensifies. A frantic dwarf shouts, "Yawa, I'll go as fast as I can," as an unseen force demands. "Who said you can do that?" Another dwarf, seemingly in shock, states, "I have no idea how long this is going to last." Meanwhile, Berje Diaz, cloaked and menacing, unleashes a devastating surge of power, clashing with a furious opponent. The battle culminates with Berje declaring, "I don't know where you came from, but you won't leave this place alive." In the Dwarven city, Berje Diaz confronts the second princess, demanding she surrender her blacksmith and equipment. As chaos erupts, Berje reveals he's already dismantled defenses and taken Lozier. The princess, furious, shouts, "Lozier, you motherfucker. You came back to take that." But Berje counters, "You think I'm that easy?" He then creates an opening, unleashing a powerful attack that sends Lozier flying, shouting, "Move out of the way." In the Dwarven city, Princess Louise Werft witnesses her blacksmith, Lozier, escape, shouting, "Are you going to get yourselves killed?" She's horrified to realize he blocked the tunnels, wondering if he truly didn't want to make her weapon. Meanwhile, Berje Diaz, with a chilling grin, declares, "How very interesting, Lozier." He ominously vows to personally search the entire continent for the blacksmith. Back in the Hilderin kingdom, Princess Louise Werft is furious, her eyes burning with rage as she declares, "I'll definitely make you regret what you did today." She witnesses Lozier Frederick, her blacksmith, escape her grasp and escape the tunnels. Meanwhile, Berje Diaz, with a chilling grin, vows to hunt Lozier across the continent. The scene then shifts to Berje's tower, now revealed as Berje's tower first floor, where Gordon Dyrek is bewildered by the sight of a massive, arcane device. Berje, however, confidently states, "It's a magical tool necessary to stop the heroes," revealing its installation is complete. In Berje's tower, a dwarf technician confirms the Mana Phantom installation is complete, and Berje approves its activation. A massive blue vortex erupts, blinding everyone. The tower then recognizes the Mana's Phantom and requires synchronization. Berje agrees to synchronize, observing as his points are dramatically consumed. Berje's tower is undergoing a massive transformation as its power source is converted to demonic energy. He's amazed, declaring it a discovery of the century. Meanwhile, Princess Ernan is given free rein to cast any spell, and she unleashes a chaotic torrent of elemental magic, much to the dismay of a lone goblin who just cleaned the tower. Berje witnesses the overwhelming power, realizing this might be the key to his own growth. Berje Diaz approaches a seemingly empty tower, the Mana Phantom, unable to sense anything inside. He manipulates the tower's state, cracking the ground with purple energy. Suddenly, the tower vanishes in a blinding flash, leaving Berje stunned and falling from the sky. He unleashes a surge of power, and the tower reappears, now surrounded by dark energy, larger and more imposing than before. In the snowy mountains, Berje Diaz activates a new device, lamenting the high cost in demonic energy, but sees its potential. He then tests its ability to hide the tower, wondering if he can examine it. Meanwhile, a frantic dwarf, revealed to be a hero, is overwhelmed by Berje's power, but Berje offers him a deal: become his subordinate in exchange for not being sold. The dwarf enthusiastically agrees, shocked by Berje's plan to install cannons on the first floor. Inside Berje's tower, a grotesque creature rages, ready to fight heroes on the first floor. Meanwhile, Berje approaches Princess Ernan, not with a threat, but a surprising proposal. He wants her to fight the heroes on the fourth floor. Ernan, initially confused about how she'd fight as a princess, realizes Berje sees her as more than just royalty, but a genius who doesn't want to return home. He then reveals his true plan. She only needs to reveal herself as an enemy to the approaching heroes. Berje Diaz makes a deal with Princess Ernan, agreeing to her condition of being introduced as a subordinate, not a princess. He then reveals his plan to lure heroes to the first floor with mana cannons, while they'll be the bait on the fourth. Later, Berje contemplates how heroes are still a step from enough, hinting at his ongoing strategy to refine their strengths. Berje Diaz agrees to Ernan's condition of being introduced as a subordinate, not a princess. He reveals his plan: lure heroes with mana cannons on the first floor while they act as bait on the fourth. Berje then contemplates how heroes are still a step from enough, hinting at his ongoing strategy to refine their strengths. In a snowy landscape, Berje Diaz is approached by Krutu, chieftain of the Blue Frost tribe, who humbly asks to be accepted as Berje's kin and offers their service. Berje, intrigued by their plea, questions their motives. Krutu explains their ancestors are devoted to the demon realm and asks to serve him, emphasizing their desire to become stronger under his leadership, especially as they've seen him gather spirit blossoms. In the snowy mountains, Krutu, chieftain of the Blue Frost tribe, humbly pledges allegiance to Berje Diaz, offering their service. Berje, intrigued, questions their motives, and Krutu explains their ancestors' devotion to the demon realm. Berje, impressed by Krutu's emphasis on wisdom over brute strength, declares, "I like you. Very well, but I'll only take you in," Krutu, accepting their offer. In the snowy landscape, Berje Diaz accepts Krutu and the Blue Frost tribe into his service, promising them greater strength and an eternal future. Krutu, deeply moved, pledges their unwavering loyalty to Berje as their demon king. The scene then shifts to reveal Berje's imposing tower, now surrounded by the formidable Pearl Desi Legion outside. On the first floor of the tower, Lozier and his mana cannons are ready. Meanwhile, Princess Ernan is on the fourth floor, surrounded by playful spirits. Berje observes his meticulously laid plans, declaring, "All the pieces are in place. Come, heroes. I'll repay you for humiliating me in my previous life." Elsewhere, hero Hillen Karskill and Granada have arrived, ready to face whatever awaits. The Urgest Mountains are finally in sight as a group of heroes prepares for their journey. Meanwhile, at the Holton Walk Heroes Journey Preparation Station, a banquet is underway. A grateful lord thanks hero Hillen Karsgill for his service, to which Hillen humbly replies. The lord then urges Hillen to give a speech, emphasizing its importance to morale. The scene shifts to a grand banquet celebrating the hero's upcoming mission. A lord praises hero Hillen Karskill, who humbly accepts the recognition. Hillen then addresses the assembled heroes and nobles, declaring that their long-awaited journey has reached its final stretch. He notes the Demon King's lack of monster attacks, wondering if it's a sign of justice or a trap. The assembled heroes vow to make the foolish Demon King pay for kidnapping Princess Ernan, with tomorrow being the day. At a grand banquet, hero Hillen Karskill rallies his forces, vowing to remind the Demon King of their power and shouting for justice. While the heroes celebrate, a strategist notes that the Demon King's lack of monsters is unusual, wondering if it's a trap, as Hillen's popularity has soared. The heroes prepare to confront the Demon King's empty tower. We see Granada struggling with his new role, questioning his sanity and the subjugation. Meanwhile, hero Hillen Karskill and his companions arrive at Holton, preparing for their mountain climb. Hillen receives dire warnings about the snow and night, hinting at hidden dangers. He then questions Berje's intentions regarding the tower, realizing something is amiss as Granada is shown reacting to a mysterious blue light. In a lavish hall, Hillen Karskill and Granada share a drink, discussing the upcoming mission. Hillen admits he's worried about the Demon King's lack of monstrous defenses, finding it unsettling. Granada agrees, remarking that conquering a Demon King's tower is never smooth, and even killing the Demon King of Lust was difficult compared to this new challenge. They ponder if this quiet is a trap. Back at the preparation station, Hillen Karskill recounts his heroic journey, crediting his brave comrades like Granada. He explains how they protected each other on the front lines, leading to their victory. Hillen then asks his companion to take care of Granada this time, indicating a shift in their roles and a new mission ahead. Morning arrives, and the heroes, including Granada and Hillen Karskill, are ready for their march. They celebrate Granada and Hillen, their cheers echoing as they prepare to head into the treacherous Urgest Mountains Gorge. Despite the warnings about the harsh conditions, Hillen expresses confidence they'll reach their destination without trouble, believing their victory is assured. On treacherous cliffs, a bewildered subordinate cries out, "Huh? What is this?" as monstrous ghouls of immense size swarm the area. Meanwhile, a determined commander rallies his troops, shouting, "All units, get into battle formation, and don't panic and protect your comrades around you," as they prepare to face the overwhelming horde. In the treacherous Urgest Mountains Gorge, the heroes are blindsided when a massive frost giant appears. Hillen, shouting "What?" A frost giant has appeared at the front, orders everyone to fall back. While Hillen prepares to face the giant alone, declaring, "It won't be a problem." The frost giant's menacing form looms, its eyes glowing with a sinister light. In the treacherous Urgest Mountains, a colossal frost giant emerges, forcing Hillen Karskill to command a retreat. Hillen bravely declares he'll handle it, but the giant's menacing glow suggests a tough fight. Suddenly, a second hero, also facing a giant, shouts, "Now!" as they unleash their power, creating a blinding flash. The heroes are in a desperate retreat through the snowy Urgest Mountains, shouting, "Everybody run!" as monstrous ghouls and a massive frost giant appear. One hero cries, "Dozens of ghouls and a frost giant taller than the cliffs." Another exclaims, This place is insane. Humans aren't meant to come here. Even with the overwhelming odds, the heroes refuse to panic, preparing to fight. In the snowy Urgest Mountains, heroes discuss their confidence in Hillen Karskill, believing his past victory over the Demon King of Lust makes him formidable. They spot a horde of pearl orcs, noting their demonic energy and realizing they are subordinates of the Demon King. The heroes prepare for battle. We're in the snowy Urgest Mountains, where a towering Demon King welcomes the approaching heroes. Hillen Karskill and his companions are taken aback by the ominous silence, realizing the earlier warnings about the snow meant something far more sinister. As Hillen warns them to watch the snow, a chilling realization dawns. The lack of monster attacks was a deliberate trap. The Demon King declares, "Not a single one of you will reach the tower." In the harsh Urgest Mountains, a panicked subordinate cries out, "How the hell am I supposed to watch out for this?" As a terrifying avalanche descends. The heroes, caught off guard, scramble to escape, with one shouting, "It's an avalanche," and another screaming, "Run, all of you." Meanwhile, Berje, back in his tower, observes the unfolding chaos with a chilling smile, declaring, once again. As his plans continue to unfold, Berje, with a sinister grin, declares this time, "I will hunt you all down." Back in the snowy mountains, heroes are caught off guard by a massive avalanche, triggered by the Pearl Orcs. A subordinate cries, "We can't account for everyone," as they realize many have been swept away. Berje, watching this unfold, simply states, once again, his plans continuing. Heroes are caught in a brutal trap in the Urgest Mountains. As they navigate the treacherous terrain, frost giants and ghouls emerge, driving them into a desperate retreat. The heroes realize the Demon King's earlier silence wasn't a sign of weakness, but a calculated ploy. Berje, observing from afar, confirms his strategy is working, stating, "This time, I will hunt you all down." The heroes, having reached the mountain's summit, are baffled. Why? Is the Demon King's tower not here? Hillen cries out, frustrated that the tower isn't in an obvious location. His party splits up, with Hillen questioning the wisdom of their plan and admitting, this hero's journey is a failure. 6 days later, they finally spot the tower, but it's in an unexpected, treacherous location. On the snowy plains, the heroes are shocked as their head count plummets, with one lamenting, "Fuck, that bastard put it in a basin." Berje, with a chilling grin, reveals his plan. When they open the tower, stand far from it. Suddenly, a massive blue energy blast erupts, striking the heroes with overwhelming force. One hero cries out in disbelief, "What the?" as they're engulfed in the attack. Berje reveals his strategic use of the dwarf's mana cannons, drastically reducing the hero head count. He smugly observes, "So even that isn't enough to bring Hillen Karskill down." A devastating blue energy blast then engulfs the remaining heroes, leaving them stunned and shouting, "What the hell is WITHTHIS Demon King?" Granada and Sir Hillen, barely escaping, realize nothing about this encounter is usual. Hillen Karskill and Granada ascend Berje's tower, finding the first 3 floors eerily empty. Hillen, a veteran hero, confidently declares, "A new Demon King is no match for me." Granada, though wary, agrees to continue. As they reach the 4th floor, they're met with a breathtaking, vibrant natural landscape, completely unlike the expected desolate tower, leaving Hillen utterly bewildered and exclaiming, "What the hell is this?" Hillen Karskill and his companions are baffled by the tower's empty floors and the surprising forest on the 4th. Their confusion turns to shock when a mysterious figure appears, revealing herself not as a princess, but as Ernan, the dark spiritist and protector of the Demon King. On the 4th floor of the tower, Princess Ernan unleashes a devastating display of high-rank spirit magic, a power Hillen Karskill recognizes as unique to her. Meanwhile, Berje muses on the hero's continued struggles, noting their confusion about his tower's defenses, the pearl orcs, avalanches, ambushes, and mana cannons on the first floor. He laughs, finding their bewilderment amusing. On the fourth floor of the tower, the hero Hillenkarskill is in disbelief. He can't comprehend that the princess is attacking him, not waiting to be saved. Frustrated, Hillen declares, "Fine, then. I'll just destroy everything." Berje, watching from afar, asks, "You think you can do it?" as he unleashes a devastating wave of purple energy, engulfing the area. Finally, a triumphant Berje reveals himself to Hillen, stating, "At last, I can see your face, Hillenkarskill. You've finally shown yourself, Demon King." Amidst the chaos of battle, Hillenkarskill calls out to Granada, "Granada, let's combine our strength." Granada, startled and seemingly drained, questions, "What? But how?" Meanwhile, Berje, radiating immense power, declares, "My energy is being drained out of my body." Hillen reassures Granada, "Didn't I tell you, Granada? As long as you're by my side, there's no problem." The scene ends with Hillen unleashing a powerful surge of green energy. In a lush, green landscape, a hero questions an artifact. That artifact is... Berje, with a sinister grin, explains it's a forbidden artifact called the Elf Eater, which converts an elf's infinite vitality into mana. He reveals its flaw. Once activated, the elf dies. The hero, reacting with disbelief and calling Berje a swindler, hypocrite, is then struck by Berje's power. In a grassy field, Hillenkarskill taunts his opponent, but his confidence shatters as his hand is brutally severed. He cries out in disbelief, "My hand! My hand is..." Berje, now revealed, mocks Hillen, stating, "You're both rude and not very human." Then, a sudden surge of power unleashes a blinding attack, leaving Hillen stunned. On the battlefield, Hillenkarskill grapples with his defeat, muttering, "Even with me using an artifact, I got taken down by a mere high-ranking demon." Suddenly, a shadowy figure declares, "You're not going anywhere." As Hillen attempts to dodge, Berje transforms into a terrifying, monstrous form, unleashing a blinding purple blast. Overwhelmed, Hillen can only gasp, "Ah, I can't." The battle rages as Berje unleashes his terrifying power, questioning, "Just who is this Demon King?" He then faces Hillenkarskill, declaring, "It's time to take a beating." With overwhelming purple energy, Berje strikes, his intentions clear as he states, "Hillenkarskill." The fight intensifies, leaving Hillen battered and Berje's power seemingly limitless as he prepares for the next devastating move. In the aftermath of a devastating battle, Berje surveys the scene, his gaze falling upon a defeated figure. "Impressive," he muses, before acknowledging, "You're still alive." He then orders his subordinate to bind the fallen and imprison them, a stark contrast to the defeated figure's apparent acceptance of their fate, remarking, "The afterlife." Granada, the elf, recovers from his battle, surprised by his own resilience. Berje, impressed, grants him permission to dismantle the tower, acknowledging his hard work. Meanwhile, Princess Ernan observes Berje's power, noting his complete recovery. She then questions him, "What happened?" as Berje reveals his plans for their next steps. In the aftermath of a brutal fight, Berje lies defeated, admitting, "That was so close." Hillenkarskill, victorious, declares a Demon King can't afford to show weakness. As Berje recovers, he grimly realizes this is the power of the 10 stars, the continent's strongest heroes. He laments that his meticulous plans were exhausted by Hillen alone, setting the stage for a new, desperate fight. Berje, overwhelmed and panicked, reveals his last-ditch attack. He unleashes his full power, screaming, "And why all-out strike hit him?" He believes he successfully altered fate, gloating, I was able to successfully alter fate. Berge's confidence surges as he thinks, I can do it. I can change the future. I can get revenge. This newfound conviction fuels his resolve. Back in the Holton Walk press conference hall, investors are demanding accountability for the failure to find the tower. A worried official assures them, we haven't failed yet. There's still hope. News of the new Demon King and his rapidly spreading influence across the continent is then revealed, setting the stage for further conflict. Back in the Hilderan Kingdom, the king is furious, lamenting that the story of Hillen Karskil's journey was distorted and exaggerated. He declares, I don't care. Just find Lozier. Meanwhile, Berge's demonic energy points have rapidly accumulated, reaching 290,000. At the Heroes Guild headquarters, Hero Wharton is informed that there isn't even a hair's breadth of false information, and that Hillen Karskil, one of the 10 stars, cannot be brought down easily. They decide to wait 10 more days for news of him. In the Heroes Guild, there's a tense wait for news on Hillen Karskil, with a full-scale assault of 4,728 heroes planned if he doesn't report in 10 days. Meanwhile, inside Berge's tower prison, a captive hero wakes up, surprised by his exceptional recovery. Berge Diaz appears, offering a shocking proposal for the hero to become his vassal, implying a deal for his unique skills. Inside a prison, a captive hero laments his situation, realizing all investments were focused on one person, Hillen Karskil. Berge Diaz reveals his knowledge of the hero's potential failure, even if he escapes. Meanwhile, a distraught Granada confronts someone, accusing them of betrayal and revealing he's been a spy from the start. Berge Diaz, confident in his new dominance, reveals a magic tool called Larmani's Orbi to his captive heroes. He explains its use to control subordinates, entering the brain instantly. He warns that any hostility will result in their brains being blown apart with a gesture, but a hero shouts that some are immune to mind control. Berge dismisses their defiance, stating there are plenty of usable heroes anyway. In the midst of a fierce battle, Berge Diaz confronts the elf, calling him a deranged elf. The elf retorts, "You're the one who should be ashamed," as Berge unleashes a powerful attack, shouting, "Shut up and swallow." The elf, though clearly in pain, remains defiant. Berge watches, noting the elf's tenacity, and comments, "He's really tenacious. What are you going to do if he'd rather die?" He then reveals his disdain for disposable heroes, stating, "A creepy human who treats his comrades like they're disposable, because of money, will never sacrifice himself." In a desolate prison cell, a hero is confronted by Berge Diaz, who offers him a chance to be a vassal. The hero, despite his dire situation, scoffs at the idea, prompting Berge to reveal his immense wealth and discuss a gathering of demon kings. He then receives a message about the unison of towers, hinting at a new alliance. Berge Diaz faces his subordinate, who questions his decision to exchange demonic energy for money. Berge, however, has received an invitation to the Union of Towers and declares they're going to swindle his senior demon kings. He believes this is the only way, as following the old standards would have made them unable to stop the heroes. With a sinister smile, Berge announces, "Let's go," ready to execute his cunning plan. Berge Diaz arrives at a grand meeting of demon kings, including Draxon of Beasts, Rhaenys Soldian of Winters, and Uger Belvex of Indestructibility. Jason Kochmundo, the demon king of lies, welcomes him, calling him the talk of the town for his defiance. Berge, however, dismisses the others as damn fools for forming an alliance, accusing them of not acting like true demon kings. He believes their current strategy is flawed, calling them the fool. At the Union of Towers, Berge Diaz faces the other demon kings, including Uger Belvex. Uger accuses Berge of being a fool and asks about Arian. Berge dismisses Uger's insult, declaring he's the only elite there and challenges him. A tense standoff escalates, with Yuger's subordinate noting Berge's power and Yuger himself being stunned by Berge's speed, realizing Berge made the previous two Demon Kings vanish instantly. Back in the tower, Berge Diaz wonders about the source of the overwhelming power, questioning if it's his own or the tower's. He dismisses the idea of jumping to conclusions about the Mana Phantom. Meanwhile, in a grand hall, other Demon Kings like Yuger Belvex gather, with Jason Kochmundo presiding. The meeting is about to begin, but the agenda is abruptly interrupted when a colossal, beastly figure roars, demanding to know. Where is Hillen Karskill, Berge Das? Back at the Union of Towers, the Demon King of Lies, Jason Kochmundo, asks about Hillen Karskill, wondering if he's dead. The Demon King of Beasts aide notes Hillen never entered their tower and is likely wandering the Ergist Mountains. Meanwhile, in the Tower of Lies reception room, other Demon Kings express concern, with one questioning if their own towers are truly safe. At the Union of Towers, Berge Diaz's aides discuss their strategy of using Hillen Karskill as a spy, emphasizing secrecy. Meanwhile, Berge himself expresses confusion and frustration with his Demon King, who he feels is too reckless and independent. He wonders why they can't just do everything together, lamenting their peculiar nature. Back in the Union of Towers, Berge Diaz is confronted by other Demon Kings, including Yuger Belvex, who question his tower's placement. Berge defiantly states he can build wherever he wants, even though heroes are still aiming for his tower. He then dismisses their concerns, believing they've learned nothing from the Academy about the dire consequences for a Demon King who loses their tower. At the Union of Towers, Jason Kochmundo, the Demon King of Lies, addresses Berge Diaz, acknowledging his top-tier status. Berge, however, dismisses the other Demon Kings, particularly Draxon, as fools for their alliance. He scoffs at their concerns and refuses to be questioned about his tower, declaring he's protecting it in his own way. At the Union of Towers, Berge Diaz overhears the Demon Kings discussing hierarchy and their goals, particularly their interest in identifying those short on demonic energy. He learns that Jason Kochmundo, the Demon King of Lies, holds a high position. Meanwhile, on the 13th floor of the Tower of Lies, the Demon King of Winters, Reyna Soldian, expresses her desire to speak privately with Berge and Jason. In a tense meeting, Reyna Soldian expresses her agreement with some of Berge's points, especially concerning flexibility in Arian. She admits she wanted to meet him alone, believing it more productive than dealing with the other Demon Kings. Berge, in turn, finds Reyna not bad, and admits she looks more formidable than he initially thought. Reyna then offers a personal transmitter, inviting Berge to call anytime for advice. In a grand hall, Berge Diaz discusses the Demon King of Lies, Jason Kochmundo, with Reyna Soldian. Reyna, the Demon King of Winters, expresses her respect for Berge's unconventional approach, finding him more formidable than expected. Meanwhile, back at Berge's tower, Princess Ernan is enthusiastically baking cookies with elemental spirits, offering them to a surprised Gordon Dyrek. Back in Berge's tower, Princess Ernan is happily baking, and her creations are surprisingly delicious, tasting like heaven. She offers her treats, which are made with spirit blossoms, to Berje and Gordon. Berge, impressed by the taste, asks if they enjoyed them, to which Ernan gleefully responds, "I'm glad you like it." In a grand hall, Berge Diaz meets with another figure who offers him a private conversation. This figure then suggests, "I know you're in need of the human's money." Berge's eyes narrow in suspicion as he asks, "What do you mean by that?" He demands to know where information about his financial situation could have possibly leaked. Berge Diaz is confronted by Jason Kochmundo, the Demon King of Lies, who knows about his dealings with human money. Berge's eyes narrow in suspicion, demanding to know where this information leaked from. Jason, unconcerned, reveals Draxon told him, then proposes a deal, suggesting they don't waste time on games and that he's on Berje's side. He then displays a pile of human currency, offering it as a means to an end. Back in Berje's tower, a sinister scheme unfolds. Berje instructs his subordinate, "Let's get along from now on," as he hands over a hefty sum of gold. He emphasizes the need to hide the money's origin, fearing Jason Kochmundo might trace their actions. Suddenly, a dark, shadowy figure appears, manipulating strings like a puppeteer, warning they could end up as his puppets. Berje Diaz reveals he's turned others into black knights and mages, using them to grow his money and control them through a forced contract. He notes that keeping them alive means it's not a total failure, and he can pay off his debts. Meanwhile, Helen Karskill is shocked to be called a business partner, questioning this new alliance as Berje's plans solidify. Berje Diaz confronts a hero, asserting his dominance and claiming the hero is his slave, not a business partner. The hero, shocked, questions Berje's intentions. Meanwhile, Helen Karskill appears, utterly confused by the situation. Berje then orders the hero to move, and a mysterious figure, revealed to be Elena, the 13th princess of Hilderin, asks Helen to deliver a letter to her younger sister, Elena. In the Hilderin kingdom, a distraught figure questions why they're siding with the Demon King, only to be told there's no intention of returning to the kingdom. Meanwhile, the imposing tower stands against a snowy backdrop, and Berje Diaz expresses distrust towards Helen Karskill, labeling him a man only caring about money, a trait he didn't initially notice. In a grand hall, a strategist reveals that Helen Karskill isn't driven by honor, but popularity, and that controlling him with Larmani's orb is the key. He believes a hero who destroys human society from within is the ideal vassal. Meanwhile, Berje Diaz, holding the orb, expresses his intent to make Helen the best pawn possible, a thought that alarms an elven observer. Back in the tower, Princess Ernan offers Berje and Gordon some surprisingly delicious cookies, revealing they're made with spirit blossoms. Berje is shocked by the taste, while Ernan gleefully accepts his praise. Suddenly, Berje receives a message about the Union of Towers, prompting him to prepare for a meeting with other demon kings, where he plans to swindle them. Berje Diaz, impressed by Ernan's skills, acknowledges his previous underestimation of her. Ernan, in turn, playfully admits she mixed spirits into the cookies, which Berje found surprisingly delicious. As they discuss this, a notification reveals Helen's hero party has safely descended under Kruta's escort, and they've departed for the kingdom of Hilderin via teleportation magic. Granada's whereabouts are also noted. Back at the Scarlet Hawk Mercenary Guild headquarters, defeated mercenaries are being interrogated by Berje Diaz. They explain their desperate retreat from the Urgist Mountains, a place where even mid-tier heroes struggle to survive. Meanwhile, a bewildered Granada is shocked to learn that the captain has abandoned his post. Suddenly, a new hero named Keed, who claims to be unable to join the hero's journey due to her circumstances, appears before Berje. In a tavern, a stern-faced woman, Keed, demands to join the hero's journey, despite the captain's dismissive remarks about her paying for drinks. Later, she's told Helen and the others have already left for Holton Walk. Keed, enraged, insists on hearing about their failure, and then claims she can do much more, implying her own capabilities. At the Scarlet Hawk Mercenary Guild, Berje Diaz offers a generous payment, telling them to consider this a small token of gratitude. The mercenary captain, however, dismisses Khaled as a greenhorn who knows nothing of the world, suggesting she'll be betrayed. Berje sharply warns him to move his hand from the money before departing. As Berge's armored form walks away, Granada observes him. Elsewhere in Holton Walk, Keed is confronted by royal guards who demand her return to her fiancé. She defiantly proclaims, "I refuse. I want to live as a hero." On a covert mission, Keed, now Berje Diaz's vassal, skillfully tracks hero Helen Karskill, using a magical tool to mask her presence. She notes Hillen is number 2 among the heroes, a target she must handle personally. Suddenly, Hillen detects her suspicious magic and confronts her, demanding answers. Kied internally recognizes the magical tool she received from the Demon King, realizing exposure would reveal her as Berje's subordinate. Hillen, now fully suspicious, declares he can't let you live, setting the stage for a dramatic conflict between two of the Demon King's pawns. Caught in a dire situation, he battles against Hillen Karskil's guards, internally lamenting, "I think I got myself into trouble." The armored soldiers, identifying her as an assassin, frantically protect their highness, Hillen, from her attacks. Heed, the only elf in the area, grapples with a difficult choice. Using her elven powers would expose her true identity, but without them, escape seems impossible. Finally, she makes a defiant stand, declaring, "No, I'm a hero too," and unleashes a surge of green energy, accepting the risk of revealing herself to survive. As Key battles Hillen Karskil's guards, she realizes she needs to unleash her full powers. Suddenly, Berje makes a dramatic entrance, appearing in his full Demon King form, surrounded by crackling purple energy. He directly questions Keed, wondering if her delay was due to slacking off. Hillen Karskil is utterly stunned by the Demon King's sudden appearance, shouting, "Demon King?" Berje callously dismisses Hillen's injuries as minor, further bewildering the hero who asks if Berje can't see his situation. This unexpected confrontation leaves Hillen in shock. In the midst of a tense confrontation, armored heroes declare, "A Demon King has come to kidnap Her Highness. Protect Her Highness with your lives." They prepare to defeat Berje, who stands before them. Curiously, a small sprite-like figure of Hernan is also present, wondering, "She's a princess? I didn't know that." The heroes demand to know why Berje is there, to which he dismissively replies he's on an errand. By coincidence, an answer they clearly don't believe. This standoff sets the stage for a new phase of his unconventional journey. In the tower, Berje, accompanied by his subordinate, is approached by Princess Hernan. Berje, with a hint of impatience, asks what she wants. Hernan cheerfully requests seneal powder, a substance his subordinate quickly identifies as being used for spirit contracts. Hernan confirms, and we learn its history. An elf named Seneal created it centuries ago for a human king, to help humans form spirit contracts. Berje, however, is suspicious, questioning why someone with Hernan's talent would need it. Hernan feigns weakness, citing low mana in the tower, but Berje sees through her act, realizing she's planning a contract with a new, high-ranking spirit. Berje is deep in thought, recalling how Princess Hernan contracted a high-ranking spirit at a remarkably young age in his past life, causing quite a stir. He's amazed she's attempting such a feat 7 years earlier now. Hernan, with a coy smile, admits she wanted to surprise him, making Berje ponder how much living in the tower has changed her. He then takes a cookie, telling Hernan he's heading out, stating he has his own circumstances to attend to. Transforming into his formidable Demon King form, Berje unleashes a burst of purple energy, declaring, "Let's end this real quick," as a hero reacts in shock to his power. Berje unleashes a devastating surge of purple energy, engulfing the area. Amidst the chaos, Coed, the warrior princess, reacts with surprise, thinking, "I suppose a hero is still a hero." Her guards rally around her, shouting, "Your Highness." Heed, radiating a powerful aura, defiantly declares her true calling. She asserts that a hero is a Demon King's natural enemy and proclaims, "I belong not in that suffocating royal palace, but on the battlefield." With newfound resolve, she unleashes her Crescent Moon Slash, a formidable attack. Amidst the clash, Heed unleashes her formidable Crescent Moon Slash, a difficult sword technique passed down through her imperial family. Her determined expression hints at a deeper resolve. We then learn her past. As a low-ranking princess, she was to be sent off to marry a pervert old king. Furious about this unfair fate, Keed trained relentlessly as an imperial swordsmanship instructor. She fights now, not as a princess, but to be acknowledged as a true hero, believing that by defeating a demon king here, she can finally achieve her goal. Keed unleashes her formidable attack, driven by a fierce desire to finally be recognized as a proper hero. She envisions a future where she'll be free from her father's orders and can decide who she'll marry. However, Berje effortlessly deflects her powerful sword aura, calmly stating, "Your sword aura isn't bad." Keed is left utterly bewildered, exclaiming, "Huh?" as her finishing move proves ineffective against the Demon King's casual defense. Berje Diaz, radiating immense power in his true Demon King form, continues to press his advantage. He taunts Keed, asking if a hero like her could truly die so easily. Overwhelmed, Keed finally grasps the terrifying reality of his strength, realizing, so this is a Demon King. With a sinister grin, Berje muses that a princess and a hero, you're useful in more ways than one. Confirming his manipulative intent, Keed recoils in terror as her frantic guards belatedly discover her royal identity, shouting, "Your Highness." Her true status is now exposed, and her danger undeniable. The city of Holton Walk is rocked by a massive explosion as panicked shouts echo through the streets. Injured knights lie sprawled, civilians rushing to their aid, realizing a demon has attacked their city. Amidst the chaos, a knight reveals the shocking truth. Her Highness, Sukuna, was taken by a demon king. The others are horrified, questioning what just transpired. As they tend to the wounded, they notice the lingering black flames. Suspecting the Demon King from the Urgest Mountains is responsible for this bold abduction. Berje's tower now holds a new prisoner, Keed Jespine, the 9th Imperial Princess, seen injured in the underground prison. Princess Ernan discovers Keed, prompting Berje to instruct her to tend to the new captive's wounds and prepare for Keed to live on the 4th floor. Ernan, surprised, questions why Berje brought another princess. He casually explains his new strategy. To secure demonic energy points, I have to kidnap a princess periodically, ideally a low-ranking one. As Ernan asks about these points, Berje abruptly cuts himself off, realizing he's sharing classified information with a prisoner. Berje, wrestling with his growing comfort around Ernan, decides to retrieve the senile powder himself, reminding himself she is just a prisoner. Meanwhile, the news of the 9th Imperial Princess's abduction from Holton Walk quickly spreads across the entire continent. At the Heroes Guild headquarters, a somber Hillen Karskill is questioned. He shamefully admits his failure to locate the Demon King's tower and takes full responsibility for the mission's setback. In the Heroes Guild, despite Hillen Karskill's recent retreat, officials reassure him that no hero will be blamed for mission failure. However, the Demon King's abduction of the 9th Imperial Princess of Jespine demands a response. When asked for his opinion on a new hero journey, Hillen proposes a reconnaissance unit first. He argues that if Berje was truly confident, he wouldn't hide his tower, concluding he's a powerless coward. Guild strategists agree, underestimating Berje's true cunning and dismissing him as not a major threat. In the Grand Hall, human strategists confirm their belief that the new Demon King is weak, agreeing to Hillen Karskill's advice. They decide to postpone the all-out hero's journey, waiting until the tower's precise location can be confirmed. A high-ranking official then smugly asks, "Is this what you wanted, Demon Kings?" implying he's actively using his authority to block the heroes and bought you time. Back in his tower, Berje Diaz reviews Hillen's report, instructing a subordinate to keep watching him, revealing this postponement is all part of his masterful manipulation. Berje Diaz realizes he's already being targeted for an assault, reflecting that Hillen Karskill and Granada's actions are delaying the hero's journey. He reveals he's also been kidnapping elite demons to steadily stack up demonic energy points. Berje considers using Armani's orb to empower Keed as a fighting force, while Lozier continues reinforcing the tower and Krutu expands their influence. He plans for Princess Ernan to contract a high-ranking spirit, believing this will make their tower overwhelmingly powerful. Only then can he finally focus on the outside world and begin his true revenge against the heroes who killed him. Berje Diaz now stands before the impressive Magitech city of Kamer, a place he identifies as overflowing with powerful mages and heroes. He needs to obtain Senial powder from this heavily guarded location. Berje plans to infiltrate the city, hoping to acquire the powder without being discovered. He knows this mission will be incredibly challenging, internally acknowledging it's way too hard. This marks his next dangerous step in the human world. Berje Diaz begins his dangerous mission in the Magitech city of Kamer, entering a seemingly shabby establishment called Jettison's World of Wonders. Inside, he spots a wanted poster for Lozier, the blacksmith hero, before directly asking the shopkeeper for Senial powder. The shopkeeper confirms he has it. Berje reflects that the Akan Kingdom, a hub for heroes and mages, makes even concealed demonic energy risky. He deliberately chose this rundown shop for discretion. The shopkeeper, oblivious to Berje's true nature, enthusiastically declares Berje is in luck, ready to provide the rare powder. Inside Jettison's shop, Berje is offered Senial powder by an overly eager shopkeeper. Berje notes the powder is purple, not the usual green, finding the price expensive. The shopkeeper explains it's a newly developed, confidential type, not yet released to the market, and pressures Berje to buy the rare item now. Berje realizes the shopkeeper knows he can't go elsewhere and is attempting to scam him. With glowing red eyes, Berje internally contemplates, should I kill him, as a door handle rattles nearby. In Jettison's shabby shop, Berje is startled by the arrival of the dwarven Princess Louise Werft, who immediately complains about Lozier's choice of hiding spots, calling him a motherfucker. Berje, hiding in plain sight, recognizes her nasty attitude and realizes a magical tool he used earlier prevents her from recognizing him. Louise then turns to the shopkeeper, claiming to have a sickness that compels her to sell items, clearly trying to extract information about Lozier's whereabouts from the unwitting merchant. In Jettison's shop, the shopkeeper grows defiant, refusing to sell Berje the powder unless he buys something else first. Jettison, scared but trying to assert himself, brandishes a knife, attempting to threaten Berje back. He nervously explains he'll only talk if Berje buys something, fearing he'll be stabbed otherwise. Berje remains unfazed by this desperate bluff. Suddenly, Berje finds himself surrounded by Princess Louise's guards. Louise, witnessing the confrontation, bursts into laughter, finding the interaction between the disguised Demon King and the terrified shopkeeper utterly amusing, completely oblivious to the true danger. Princess Louise laughs, amused by the shopkeeper's antics as he tries to sell Berje Archaw powder, claiming it's great for dwarves. Berje, however, recognizes it as the Senial powder he needs and agrees to the 3 gold price. After the purchase, Berje, still disguised, subtly questions the shopkeeper about any recent dwarven visitors named Lozier. The shopkeeper denies knowing Lozier but directs Berje to a famous blacksmith store, Rodeer's Leap, where someone might have information. Berje then offers a polite apology to Louise before leaving the shop, internally scoffing at the shopkeeper for selling him trash for 3 gold. Berje, subtly amused, compliments Jettison for selling him trash for 3 gold. The shopkeeper, believing he outsmarted Berje, then attempts to sell him another secret. Berje, surprisingly impressed by Jettison's persistent scamming skills, instead orders him to the Golden Moon Merchant Guild. A stunned Jettison questions why he should go to a bankrupt guild, but Berje, with a chilling grin, reveals his leverage. The person Jettison scammed earlier was none other than Princess Louise Werft, a revelation that sends a powerful shockwave through the shopkeeper. Jettison is utterly stunned, realizing his last customer was Princess Louise Werft, and nervously asks Berje what he wants. Berje reaffirms his offer to hire Jettison for the Golden Moon Merchant Guild, even offering a monthly salary. He then threatens to bring the furious princess back if Jettison refuses. Initially terrified, Jettison quickly turns defiant, believing Berje is bluffing. He boldly challenges the Demon King to try, to which Berje simply responds, "Sure," accepting the merchant's foolish dare. Berje Diaz has accepted Jettison's challenge, agreeing to bring Princess Louise back. With a chilling "sure," Berje calmly exits the shop, leaving the merchant to his fate. Left alone, Jettison's bravado quickly crumbles. The shop is engulfed in a menacing red glow as a terrifying, shadowy presence looms, petrifying the merchant with demonic energy. Jettison lets out a blood-curdling scream, fully realizing the Demon King's power. The narrative continues in Chapter 16 as Berje walks away, having secured the senile powder for his next move. Still in the city, Berje stands with the green senile powder, reflecting on the shopkeeper. Princess Louise reappears, surprised he's still here. She then thanks Berje for helping her get a refund, to which he calmly replies, "That's good." When Louise asks about the shop owner, Berje casually mentions he was only able to give him a light beating. This enrages Louise, who screams Berje should have ripped his heart out. Berje notes her familiar temper. Louise then asks if he's looking for Lozier, showing him a distinctive necklace. Princess Louise, still fuming, confronts Berje Diaz, showing him a unique necklace. Berje immediately recognizes it as a masterfully crafted badge, providing access to the Dwarven Kingdom's deepest areas, deciding to take it. As he does, Louise's guards panic, calling for reinforcements, while Louise screams, "I'm not going to let him go." Berje reflects on Lozier's significant growth and strength during his hero's journey, realizing this immense power was precisely what he wanted. He even muses that a direct confrontation with Lozier would be a challenging fight. Berje strategizes, realizing he needs to develop his powers to achieve his revenge. He sets his sights on Ormouth, the location of the Beast Tower. He envisions Princess Louise Werft and Demon King Draxen Doldop locked in a fierce battle, revealing his cunning plan to seize the summoning beast's heart amidst their conflict. Back at his tower, Berje confirms his fusion with the Mana Phantom has granted 2 new functions: remote tower use and item transfer. With these new capabilities, he entrusts Gordon with the tower as he departs for his next crucial mission. Inside his tower, Berje Diaz meticulously prepares his allies and defenses. He delivers valuable senile powder to Princess Ernan, emphasizing its careful use for contracting high-ranking spirits. Meanwhile, Berje sets conditions for Keed's training, instructing her to be taught swordsmanship on the 4th floor. Keed defiantly tests her skills against Berje, who effortlessly blocks her attack, before ordering the installation of a powerful Hell Forge on the 1st floor. He then directs Lozier to further reinforce the 1st floor with advanced, bewildering dwarven machinery, preparing his tower for an unprecedented challenge. Lozier Friedrich, the dwarven hero, joyfully pledges to serve Berje well. Berje then checks on the Pearl Orcs, learning they've successfully unified 3 tribes, doubling their numbers and now dominating the mountains. He instructs Gordon to manage them, then leaves the tower, now equipped with a new Shadow Moon cloak. This cloak allows him to move freely, using mana and black magic undetected. Berje then considers sending a message to Granada, while a subordinate reacts with surprise to his plan to buy old slaves. Berje continues his subtle manipulation in the human world, confronting a terrified Jettison. He reminds the con man of his past scam against Princess Louise Werft, threatening him with an assassin if he doesn't report to the Golden Moon Merchant Guild within a month. The scene then transitions, showing crumbling interiors before landing in Holton Walk's training grounds, where a new figure observes heroes. Finally, Granada expresses his deep concern, realizing Berje likely intends to drag his people into the Demon King's grasp and use them as spies, just like himself. In the human world, Granada is visibly stressed, wondering if Berje deliberately assigned him this difficult mission. Meanwhile, the mercenary squad, tasked with working alongside him, whispers in confusion, questioning why their vice-captain is making them learn elf swordsmanship. They complain about Granada's age and constant bragging, even considering abandoning the mission. Despite his reluctance, Granada rationalizes his situation, concluding that being under the Demon King is far better than suffering as a human slave. With a renewed sense of purpose, he unleashes his elven magic, ready to fulfill his role. In the human world, Granada intensifies his training with the mercenaries, binding one by magic and humiliating him. The mercenary captain begs for mercy, crying, "I am sorry. I was wrong," as others mock him. Later, Granada converses with Berje via a holographic screen, learning Berje is now seeking treasure. The scene then dramatically shifts to the lush Ormith Rainforest Kingdom, where Princess Louise Werft receives an urgent warning. Ormith's march will commence immediately, signaling a brewing conflict in Berje's next destination. Princess Louise Werft, navigating the Ormith Rainforest, expresses frustration over finding Losier, dismissing her guards' concerns about entering the Beast Demon King's territory. She asserts her royal family's immunity, citing the historical repercussions of angering a dwarf princess. Louise's determination to find Losier overrides all warnings, even threatening her own subordinates. Suddenly, an urgent alarm sounds within the demon realm. Princess Louise is directly approaching the Beast Mountain region. This unexpected move throws demons into a panic, signaling the brewing conflict. Draxon, the Demon King of Beasts, is in a fury, questioning why that crazy princess, Louise, is suddenly heading toward his domain. He fears she's discovered his secret, the heart of the summoning beast, a volcanic source of pure mana he's been excavating, which promises the strongest power. With his excavation in its final stage, Draxon desperately orders his forces to stop Louise from getting close. However, he strictly forbids them from harming her, a command his cat-eared subordinate finds difficult, prompting Draxon's furious retort, "Do you have a death wish?" In the Ormith Rainforest Kingdom, Princess Louise Werft boldly enters forbidden territory. Ormith's second prince, Max Ormith, confronts her, warning that the palace already cautioned against entering the Demon King's dangerous lands. Louise defiantly brushes off his concerns, declaring, "As if they can touch me," and vowing not to leave until she finds Losier. Meanwhile, Berje Diaz, observing, internally calls dwarves really stupid. He recalls a past war where the Jespine Kingdom, under a demon king, profited by selling supplies to heroes, hinting at the systemic flaws he plans to exploit. Princess Louise Werft finds herself amidst a grim battlefield, reflecting on past events with an enraged, "You bastard." Suddenly, the furious king of Ormith appears, leading an army and shouting, "Now it's our turn to make that profit. Kill them all." Louise boldly stands her ground, defiantly challenging her foes with, "Anyone who wants to die, come first," as she fights for the kingdom. Meanwhile, Max Ormith reacts in shock, learning that the dwarves are about to be killed. He urgently declares, "No, we have to stop this," realizing a new, immediate danger has emerged. Max Ormith, enraged, realizes the Ormith forces intend to kill Princess Louise and frame him, risking a devastating war. He urgently commands his monsters and demons to stop them and protect Louise. The battle immediately erupts in the Ormith Rainforest, with Max personally joining the bloody melee, fighting with a golden aura. Meanwhile, Louise and her overwhelmed forces struggle, forcing her to order a desperate escape. Frustrated, she vows to make her enemies pay for this humiliation. Disguised, Berje faces a fierce attack from an Ormith warrior who boasts of ending the fight with a single blow. Berje, engulfed in purple energy, realizes this assault wasn't from Draxon's underlings as he initially suspected, but from humans with complicated interests. He confirms his magical disguise is still active, thinking he's going to make a prince pay for trouble. As other warriors recognize him as an upper-ranked demon, they prepare to kill the princess while one attempts to hold Berje off, unaware of his true power and cunning plan. Amidst the chaos of the Ormith rainforest, Max Ormith is struck by a powerful attack, sending rocks flying as he cries out in distress. Enraged, he unleashes his golden aura, challenging his attacker. "How dare you? Do this while I'm here." Meanwhile, Princess Louise Werft, also glowing with fierce energy, scolds, "You dare look elsewhere," as she finds herself surprised by the speed of a dwarven opponent. Max, realizing the escalating conflict, decides, "I guess I need to deal with that crazy princess first." As Berje, cloaked and radiating immense purple energy, prepares to join the unfolding battle. Caught in the Ormith rainforest, Berje is shockingly suppressed by purple energy, bewildered and questioning if she bound him with demonic power. As Princess Louise Werft unleashes a fiery attack, Berje subtly hides his presence amidst the chaos. Louise, now on the ground, rages at the surrounding soldiers. How dare a mere dwarf lay hands on the prince? She fiercely defends herself, threatening to send her attackers to the afterlife, while her loyal guards desperately move to cover their princess. Berje watches the chaotic battle in the Ormith rainforest, where Princess Louise fights amidst flying rocks and golden auras. From his perch, Berje ensures Louise's survival, declaring, "That should keep you from dying." With a sinister grin, he thinks, "Take the bait," as the scene rewinds to reveal the beast tower emanating powerful purple energy 5 minutes earlier. Draxon, the demon king of beasts, then reacts in shock, exclaiming, "Demonic energy?" His subordinate echoes his alarm, confirming Berje's cunning trap for Draxon has been sprung. In the Ormith rainforest, Draxon, the demon king of beasts, is enraged to discover that elite demons, not his own vassals, have been sent into his territory by another demon king. He grows suspicious, noting the impossibly perfect timing of this intrusion amidst Princess Louise's ongoing battle. Draxon urgently demands updates on Louise's status and the intruding demon. His subordinate reports that Louise is already surrounded by Ormith soldiers. Draxon, shocked, realizes with growing dread that this escalating conflict might be a repeat of a devastating full-scale war from centuries past, his fury turning to palpable concern. The conflict in the Ormith rainforest intensifies as Draxon's subordinate reports Princess Louise is already surrounded by Ormith soldiers, admitting, "We tried to save her, but..." Draxon, frustrated, realizes he still lacks the means to stop the escalating chaos. His subordinate then reveals Louise single-handedly caused a massacre, making it impossible to save her. Enraged by the report, Draxon lashes out at his subordinate. He then discovers the shocking news. Princess Louise herself killed the second prince of Ormith, leaving Draxon to weigh the consequences. He debates whether to kill the remaining Ormith warriors, realizing the blame for murder wouldn't yield the same demonic energy as kidnapping. In the chaotic Ormith rainforest, Draxon decides to spare the remaining Ormith warriors, ordering his subordinates to let them live so they can testify and prevent him from being framed. But his fury quickly returns as his forces still haven't found the intruding demon. Calling their efforts pathetic, Draxon activates ultrasensory amplification, a technique to maximize his senses. He quickly detects traces of an upper-grade demon, realizing this mysterious figure was indeed involved with Princess Louise. His hunt for the cunning Demon King intensifies. In the Ormith rainforest, Draxon, the Demon King of Beasts, intensifies his hunt, demanding to know which way Princess Louise ran. A subordinate quickly points the direction, fueling Draxon's fury as he roars, "You damn bastard!" and lunges forward, tearing up the ground. Transforming into a colossal, red-eyed beast, he's recognized as the Demon King. Suddenly, Draxon is struck by a chilling realization. It was all bait. He understands Berje's entire elaborate scheme was a calculated plan to lure him away from the volcano, even exposing demonic energy as part of the deception. Amidst the fiery chaos of the Ormith rainforest, Draxon, now a colossal beast, pursues the mysterious, upper-ranked demon he believes is after his singular goal. His fury leads him directly to his secret excavation site, where his subordinates frantically work to unearth the heart of the summoning beast. Suddenly, Berje appears within the volcanic depths. He observes the smoky magma, confirming Draxon's hidden construction to drain the lava. With a sinister grin, Berje reveals his own unique advantage. The scales of the black flame demonic dragon can only be forged inside lava, positioning himself for what's next. Deep within the volcanic heart of Ormith, Berje confronts one of Draxon's powerful tiger-like subordinates. The beast, realizing Berje is a demon, attempts to resist his chilling command to come with me. Despite its fierce struggles, Berje effortlessly overwhelms it, engulfing the creature in fiery energy and forcing its submission. As the beast is subdued, Berje keenly observes how Draxon's regeneration grew absurdly strong after sacrificing the summoning beast. Berje's swift subjugation and insight into Draxon's power reveal his calculated approach in this dangerous territory. Deep within the volcanic heart of Ormith, Berje finally understands the source of Draxon's immense power. He realizes the Beast Demon King didn't just sacrifice a beast, but a formidable phoenix's corpse. Berje recalls his academy days, remembering ancient records that documented phoenixes as beings capable of crossing dimensions. These texts revealed a crucial fact. Every demon king who fully absorbed a phoenix became powerful enough to be etched into the demon realm's history. This shocking discovery reveals the true extent of Draxon's strength and Berje's newfound challenge. Deep within the fiery volcano, Berje expresses gratitude, telling Draxon, "Thanks to you absorbing the phoenix in my previous life, I can be here now." He reveals his long-held envy for this unique power, vowing, "In this life, I'll put it to good use." A blinding flash of light erupts, signaling a dramatic shift. Elsewhere, Draxon is furious, demanding, "Who the hell found my phoenix?" His subordinate reports Berje is the lone intruder, confirming his audacious move against the Beast Demon King's most cherished secret. Deep within the volcanic heart of Ormith, Berje, in his formidable Demon King form, moves swiftly. He dismisses any notion that Draxon's security could have truly stopped him. Berje then bursts into a cavern, startling two dwarf-like figures guarding the area. They exclaim, "Demon King? What brings you here?" But Berje wastes no time, unleashing a powerful attack that sends them flying. He quickly deduces that these aren't subordinates of Reyna or Yuger, reasoning that neither would be involved in an operation concerning a fire elemental phoenix. Berje continues his relentless assault, concluding his next move. Still within the fiery volcanic depths of Ormith, Draxon, the Beast Demon King, furiously demands to know if the summoning beast is safe. His subordinate confirms it is, but then reveals a tiger unexpectedly jumped into the lava. Draxon, utterly shocked, realizes Berje isn't after the summoning beast, but the phoenix. He desperately screams for his subordinates to stop the intrusion. A massive explosion of fiery energy then rocks the cavern, leaving Draxon's eye wide with fury as Berge's audacious plan to claim the Phoenix unfolds. Amidst a fiery aftermath, a mysterious figure observes a scene of defeated heroes and a young, weapon-wielding girl. Nearby, a hero resembling Helen Carskill looks distressed, while another blonde girl appears surprised. Suddenly, from what seems to be a deep pit, a furious voice erupts, shouting, "Jason, you son of a..." The rage intensifies as Draxon, the Beast Demon King, transforms into his colossal beast form, completing the angry declaration with a roaring, "Bitch." A massive fiery explosion follows, signaling Draxon's fury at Jason's betrayal, likely tied to Berge's audacious plan. After the fiery explosion, Berge awakens in a lush, unfamiliar forest, naked and surrounded by curious animals. Disoriented, he wonders where he is, recalling his plan to contain the Phoenix. A shocking realization dawns. The Phoenix, along with the summoning beast's heart, was absorbed directly into his body. Still dazed from the volcanic eruption, Berge affirms his identity as a demon king, sternly dismissing the wild creatures swarming him. His audacious plan has truly taken an unexpected turn. Berge awakens naked in a vibrant forest, feeling profoundly disoriented. He observes his reflection, a strange blue glow emanating from him. As he questions, "What is this strange feeling?" The narrative then transitions to Chapter 19, shifting focus to Ormuz Palace. Here, Princess Louise reflects on Prince Mark and other brave warriors who met their end. She seethes as a lord declares dying in battle and honor, defiantly screaming, "Like hell it is." Her raw fury hints at a deep-seated desire for vengeance. In the Ormuz Kingdom, the king furiously commands his forces to immediately contact the Heroes Guild, demanding a hero's journey to execute the Beast Demon King. Meanwhile, Berge, having awoken naked in a lush forest, receives an urgent report from Helen Carskill via a new holographic interface. Helen, seemingly confused, asks who he's addressing. Berge learns that the king of Ormuz's request for a hero's journey against Draxon is moving forward. The formidable captain of this new 10 Stars hero team is revealed to be Rosal Chart, a top-class battle mage specializing in flame magic. A massive hero expedition assembles in Ormuz, with Vice Captain Durad, a master of pure martial might, among them. Berge observes the 200 heroes, surprised by their numbers, but notes only 2 10 Stars, Rosal Chart and Padav Durad, are present. He realizes people are pulling strings behind the scenes who don't want the Beast Demon King to die. Berge reflects on how a Demon King's tower is a gold mine for human profit. He then decides to involve someone in this hero's journey, promising, "I'll tell you the Beast Demon King's weakness." In the lush forest, Berge, now with a new appearance, continues to leverage his intel, offering hero Helen Carskill the Beast Demon King's weakness and instructing him to absorb its power. Helen, though expressing a brief concern, "If I get even stronger over there, will you really be able to handle me?" ultimately accepts the daunting task. Berge dismisses the hero's potential threat, then attempts to contact Gordon. Gordon, appearing on screen, is utterly bewildered by Berge's changed look, asking, "Who are you?" as he delivers an urgent report about a reception from the Tower of Beasts. In a lush forest, Gordon receives shocking news. Draxon and the Tower of Beasts have called an emergency convocation of Demon Kings. He exclaims, "Draxon did that? Are you serious?" as the message is confirmed. At the formidable Tower of Beasts, Yugur Belvex arrives, questioning Draxon as other Demon Kings gather, grumbling about the wait. With both Berge Diaz and Jason Kochmundo notably absent, a menacing threat is issued. If they're late, they'll face severe consequences, hinting at the high stakes of this unexpected assembly. In the lush forest, Berge, in his new form, is momentarily caught off guard by an unseen attack, quickly recovering as he realizes there's no time to waste. He contacts Gordon, who is still utterly bewildered by Berje's changed appearance. Berje reveals he's in Ormith and plans to portal directly to the Tower of Beasts, but Gordon urgently warns him against it. Suddenly, Jason Kochmundo appears, questioning Berje's plan to arrive without a portal, noting it would raise suspicion. Berje acknowledges the dilemma, then decides to first return to his tower, speak with Gordon, and then make his move to the Tower of Beasts. Berje is in a desperate rush, pushing his speed to the limit as he worries about being late for the urgent Demon King convocation. He exclaims, "This speed won't do. I'll be late by more than 10 minutes. As he pushes harder, a powerful, glowing energy pulses within him, culminating in a dramatic transformation. Suddenly, massive, fiery phoenix wings erupt from his back, propelling him through the air. Berje is shocked by this new development, questioning, "Phoenix? Wings?" He realizes he wasn't planning to use such immense power yet, as the absorbed phoenix's energy involuntarily surges within him. Berje, still in his new form, makes a shocking discovery. A tiny, living phoenix glows within his heart. He questions if this explains the animals that swarmed him earlier. Suddenly, he's propelled through the sky at an uncontrollable speed, surrounded by a flurry of fiery golden energy. Berje strains, utterly overwhelmed, exclaiming, "W8. This is too fast." He grapples with the raw, untamed force, realizing he's completely lost control as the immense power launches him across the snowy landscape, heading for an unknown destination. A massive energy blast erupts from Berje's tower, coinciding with his struggle to control the absorbed phoenix's raw power. Now in his new form, Berje grapples with the immense force, realizing he can't fully control it yet. He resolves to proceed carefully until he can tame the phoenix. Soon after, Berje appears with controlled fiery wings, contacting Gordon. He confirms the phoenix's strength is now sealed, and instructs Gordon they are moving immediately to the Tower of Beasts, as the scene shifts to the lush Ormith Kingdom. At the heroes' gathering, many are thrilled to see Rosal Chant, the idol of the Magic Tower, eager to fight alongside her. However, Captain Rosal quickly dismisses her admirers as riffraff, shocking her subordinates who worry about their image. She then questions if Hillen Karskill will join the fight, and he promptly appears, offering his strength to the mission. Despite his previous failure, Hillen, still a 10 stars hero, is ready to lend his power to this new hero's journey. Captain Rosal Chant confronts Hillen Karskill, immediately calling him a loser and mocking his past title, questioning why he's not wearing it. Hillen, while outwardly composed, internally frets that if Rosal opens her mouth, his reputation would be ruined. He secretly resolves to be the one to defeat the Beast Demon King. Rosal, still dismissive, warns Hillen to stay out of her way, to which he outwardly agrees. However, Hillen's inner thoughts reveal his true ambition. The Beast Demon King's head is mine. With their rivalries simmering, Hillen and other heroes step through a swirling purple portal, commencing their journey to the Beast Tower. Berje Diaz and Jason Kochmundo arrive at the Tower of Beasts, just making it in time for the emergency convocation. Draxon, in his beastly form, greets them, confirming their punctuality. Jason reassures the assembled demon kings he'll explain the details once they're inside. Once on the top floor, Yugur Belvex immediately confronts Draxon, demanding to know why he called such an urgent meeting. Jason begins to address the group, mentioning the Demon King of Lust in Ormith and hinting at a deeper, shared problem, subtly probing their honesty. The stage is set for a tense discussion. At the Union of Towers, Jason Kochmundo exposes Berje's audacious schemes, revealing he sent a high-ranking demon into Draxon's territory, stole the Phoenix corpse, and even caused the Ormith Prince's death. Draxon, enraged by these revelations, vows, "I'm not dying alone. I'll kill that traitor." transforming into a colossal beast. Meanwhile, the concept of a black box within every tower is introduced, recording a demon king's every action. Berje is shocked by this discovery, realizing if Draxen opens his tower's black box, all his unconventional plans will be exposed, noting he needs permission from the tower's owner to access one. At the tense union of towers, Draxen, in his formidable beast form, demands permission to access the black box of the Demon King behind the recent chaos. He challenges everyone present, implying any hesitation reveals the true culprit. Berje internally seethes at Draxen's pointed accusation. One by one, Reyna, Jason, and Yuger grant permission. Finally, Berje Diaz, maintaining his composure, also gives his consent. With all approvals secured, Draxen declares the meeting concluded, promising to share the results separately as the room hangs in anticipation. After the tense meeting, Berje Diaz learns Draxen plans to use a costly black box key to expose him and Jason once the hero's journey fails. Realizing the immense demonic energy required for such a key, Berje vows to act first. With a determined glare, he declares he must deal with Draxen before he can open any black boxes. Berje then instructs Gordon to prepare, stating he'll quickly check the tower's situation, starting from the first floor, before heading out to confront the Beast Demon King. On the tower's first floor, Lozier Friedrich proudly unveils his ultimate creation to Berje Diaz, shouting, "How is it, Demon King?" Lozier, now calling himself First Floor Boss, stands atop the colossal Inferno Catapult Mark I, a magic cannon born from the Demon King's Forge of Hell. He boasts it's his greatest masterpiece, capable of devastating multi-elemental attacks, terrain manipulation, and even absorbing mana. Berje's subordinate expresses concern over Lozier's increasing madness, but Berje, observing the weapon's power, simply decides to let's see just how far he can go. Lozier's unpredictable genius is now fully unleashed. In Berge's tower, Lozier Friedrich, now proudly calling himself the First Floor Boss, cheers excitedly about his colossal Inferno Catapult Mark I, promising to build more. Berje, observing, decides to let Lozier demonstrate his full potential. Moving to the second floor, we find Keyed Jespine, revealed as the second floor boss. She unleashes a powerful green energy attack on Berje, defiantly declaring, "I told you, I'd make you regret training me, didn't I?" Berje deflects her assault, seemingly unimpressed, noting, "You haven't changed." This intense confrontation reveals the true extent of Keyed's growth and her challenge to the Demon King. Keyed, brimming with confidence, declares, now it starts for real, as she unleashes her full Jespine combat sword technique, the formidable Crescent Moon Shatter. Her powerful light blast strikes, but Berje remains unfazed. He coolly remarks, "You've improved a little, but you still need more training," before manifesting his own potent dark energy. Keyed is utterly stunned, exclaiming, This can't be. You counteracted my technique so easily." Her finishing move was effortlessly dismissed, signaling Berge's overwhelming power, as we see his imposing tower in the snowy mountains. Back in Berge's tower, Gordon explains to a surprised Berje that Princess Keyed was temporarily moved to the first floor. This was because Princess Ernan began a powerful summoning ritual on the fourth floor, prompting Berje to question, "Is summoning?" On the fourth floor, Ernan Hilderin, now designated fourth floor boss, utilizes the Senial Powder. Surrounded by glowing runes and elemental spirits, she successfully initiates a blood contract, binding herself to a great spirit of water, guardian of water, signifying a major new power for the tower. On the tower's fourth floor, Princess Ernan Hilderin continues her powerful summoning ritual. Blood droplets fall into a glowing magic circle, symbolizing a deep connection as she declares, "Soul and soul, I form a contract." With intense focus and strain, Ernan calls out, In the name of Hernan Hilderin, I ask, please answer my call. A brilliant light erupts, and from a torrent of water, the majestic great spirit of water, Nerunial, fully materializes. This powerful new ally emerges, ready to bolster Berge's tower defenses. From within the torrent of water, Nerunial, the great spirit of water, fully materializes. She expresses surprise to find someone talented enough to summon her inside a Demon King's tower, before acknowledging it as a good development. Nerunial then formally declares, I, Nerunial, acknowledge the human Hernan Hilderin as my sole companion. Completing their profound contract, Hernan is enveloped in the spirit's power, seemingly floating in a serene, watery embrace. Afterward, Berje is seen gently carrying a resting Hernan through a lush, rainy landscape, indicating the successful, albeit exhausting, completion of the powerful ritual. In a serene, grassy field, Berje holds Hernan's hand, commending her good work after her successful spirit contract. A flustered Hernan attributes her achievement to the senile powder Berje provided. Then, with a blush and a heart-filled background, she unexpectedly blurts out, I love you, Demon King. Immediately, Hernan's eyes widen in shock and panic, screaming, No. That wasn't me, as Berje reacts to her sudden, disavowed confession. This unexpected outburst hints at a complicated new dynamic between them. Hernan desperately denies her sudden confession to Berje, but he quickly realizes her newly summoned spirit, Nerunial, is the true culprit. The high-ranking water spirit cheekily admits to speaking Hernan's feelings, even revealing her hobby is reading forbidden love romance novels. Berje is utterly baffled, demanding to know, what kind of nonsense is that? A mortified Hernan is left flustered as Nerunial casually reveals that their pure love story is already famous in the spirit realm, much to everyone's awkward surprise. In a serene meadow, Hernan, the great spirit of water, is surprised to be summoned by a human. She's even more taken aback when Berje, now sporting fiery phoenix wings, appears. He admits he can't control this immense power yet. Meanwhile, in a fiery landscape, Berje confronts a furious Draxen, the beast demon king, who's furious about Berje's betrayal. Draxen roars, You damn bastard, as Berje reveals his plan to absorb the phoenix, a move that has now unleashed this uncontrollable power within him. Back at Berje's tower, a concerned Gordon is alarmed by the news of a Demon King convocation. Berje, now sporting fiery phoenix wings, struggles to control his new power as he heads to the Tower of Beasts. Meanwhile, at a hero gathering, Captain Rosal Charnt dismisses Hillen Karskill, but Hillen secretly vows to claim the Beast Demon King's head. The heroes then portal to the tower, unaware of the true dangers awaiting them. In the Tower of Beasts, Berje and Jason Cockmundo face a tense meeting with Draxen. Jason reveals Berje's treachery, stealing the phoenix and causing the prince's death. Draxen, enraged, demands access to Berje's black box to expose him. As other demon kings grant permission, Berje realizes he must act first to stop Draxen before he can open any black boxes. Meanwhile, on the first floor of Berje's tower, Lozier proudly displays his Inferno Catapult Mark I, ready for its first demonstration. In the demon realm, chosen heroes are weakened, making them easier prey. To counter this, demon kings create towers, connecting their realms and drawing demonic energy. The taller the tower, the stronger the demon king becomes. Berje, however, faces a challenge. His tower is only 5 floors, while others boast many more. Inside the formidable Tower of Beasts, a chilling declaration is made. Victory cannot be guaranteed. Berje, now wielding the absorbed phoenix's heart, acknowledges his immense power but admits he hasn't fully mastered it. He believes he'd face a tough battle against any demon king right now. Meanwhile, a figure known as Pale boasts of his strength, declaring, "I will personally participate in this hero expedition." This sets the stage for a confrontation in Ormus. In the heart of Ormuth, a fierce battle rages as heroes clash with beast demons. A powerful beast demon is struck by a hero's blade, while other smaller demons fall. Overwhelmed, heroes consider retreating, exclaiming, "The demons are back." Suddenly, Lord Pale arrives, observing his exhausted troops and asking, "What happened here?" He quickly takes charge. As a hero reports, "We immediately launched an assault on the Tower of Beasts." The hero's relentless push into Draxon's territory has begun. In the heart of the battle, a warrior shouts, his tale, as they attack the Beast Demon King's weakness. Another hero, Rosal, shouts, "Lady Rosal," now, as they prepare for a decisive blow. Amidst the carnage, a powerful beast demon roars, its eyes burning red, while another warrior exclaims, "We had no choice but to retreat." The heroes are forced to fall back as the situation turns dire. In a dark forest, two figures discuss the failed hero expedition. One laments, "In the end, the hero expedition was a failure." His companion, however, grins, declaring, "I am completely screwed." He then reveals that despite the loss, they managed to inflict significant damage, even causing fatal wounds to the enemy and killing many demons. He believes there's still time to resume the expedition before Draxon can repair his tower. In a forest clearing, Rosal Chant confronts two figures, one of whom expresses concern about the failed hero expedition. However, the other, with a mischievous grin, reveals they inflicted significant damage and are ready to restart the assault on the Beast Demon King's tower. Rosal, seeing the opportunity, agrees to try again, determined to defeat the Beast Demon King. In a lush forest, a formidable woman questions a hooded figure, "Who are you?" She senses an unusual heat emanating from him. The figure, revealed to be Berje, acknowledges his uncontrollable phoenix power. Meanwhile, a defeated hero expedition lies scattered, their leader lamenting their failure. Berje, now holding a small fiery creature, decides to confront Draxon, preparing to unleash his chaotic new abilities. In a sun-drenched forest, a young knight, Rosal Chant, encounters a powerful sorceress who reveals herself as the owner of the Phoenix. She explains that Pale has arrived to kill the Demon King of Beasts, leaving Rosal stunned and questioning the source of the overwhelming energy. In a ruined city, a man with fiery wings observes a group of heroes, noting their power and recognizing the Beast Demon King. Meanwhile, another group of heroes, led by Rosal Chant, prepares to re-enter the fray. Their goal is clear: to reclaim the tower and confront Draxon, the Demon King of Beasts, who seems to be feeling the strain of his power. With only one black box key, Draxon begins his investigation, proclaiming, "Now, show me everything, all the secrets you've been hiding." He opens the box, revealing a cascade of film strips filled with purple energy as the contents are displayed. Draxon's monstrous form appears, his eyes burning with fury as he exclaims, "Wait, no, this is the truth." He realizes the black box cannot be manipulated, confirming his suspicions. Draxon is shocked by what he sees in the black box, realizing the truth cannot be manipulated. Meanwhile, the Beast Demon King's forces are alerted to an invasion, with Ralph Schmitz leading the charge. This signifies a new, powerful hero is now on the offensive, forcing the demons to prepare for a fierce battle. In Ormus, an hour before, Guildmaster Ralph Schmitz rallies his forces, declaring, "Yes, let's try this again." He boasts, "We have the legendary Phoenix on our side." As swords are drawn, he commands, "Let's slaughter all the demons." The heroes are galvanized, but a chilling question arises. The Phoenix is with us? In the aftermath of the Demon King's treasure raid, Berje, still grappling with his phoenix powers, acknowledges that even 10-star heroes might not be enough. He's surprised when a new hero, Ralph Schmitz, arrives, declaring his intent to join the fight. This seasoned warrior, radiating immense power, seems to be the reinforcements Berje desperately needs. The battle intensifies as a new, formidable hero enters the fray. We witness the arrival of Ralph Schmitz, introduced as the strongest powerhouse among the Shield Masters. He fearlessly acts as the vanguard for this revenge mission, deflecting attacks from multiple aggressive beast demons. Ralph then powerfully counters. His shield strikes, sending demons flying, while a monstrous face reacts with intense pain. This powerful display shows Ralph Schmitz's immense skill, proving he's a crucial asset in the hero's renewed assault against the Demon King's forces. In the midst of a fierce battle, a monstrous creature is struck down. A group of heroes, previously considering retreat, are energized by the arrival of Ralph Schmitz. He's revealed to be the second strongest tank among the 10 stars, wielding a powerful ultimate shield. Ralph declares his intention to confront Berje, stating, "I know Berje better than anyone. How troublesome he is to deal with." This marks a significant turning point in the ongoing conflict. In the aftermath of a failed hero expedition, a warrior expresses intense frustration, wanting to rip someone to shreds. However, their focus shifts to Draxen, who takes priority. Another warrior, possibly a rival, notes that Ralph Schmitz also abandoned the expedition. They lament that with combined efforts, they could have won without casualties, but underestimate the Demon King. The scene transitions to a tense conversation with a determined warrior, who is then met with a surprising, questioning response. In the Beast Tower's command room, Draxen reveals his trump card, a black box key, to the surprised Demon Kings. He warns that if he reclaims the tower, nothing can stop him. Meanwhile, heroes have reached the top floor, finding it strangely empty. Draxen, in his beast form, emerges, furious at their quick advance, gloating that he was too busy preparing for them to handle anything else. Draxen, eyes wide with disbelief, questions why there are no demons present, sensing a massive energy density. He's shocked by the truth revealed in the black box, realizing he must eliminate the heroes in one go. He's gathered his vassals, and with a sinister smile, declares he's placed the strongest on the top floor, absorbing the power of the entire floor. Draxen vows to kill the foolish heroes without leaving a trace. In the Beast Tower's command center, Draxen, furious with the heroes' rapid advance, realizes his trap has failed. The truth from the black box is undeniable. He unleashes his full beast form in a terrifying roar. Meanwhile, a powerful warrior, Ralph Schmitz, watches the approaching threat, steeling himself for the coming confrontation, as another warrior prepares his blade. As the heroes push deeper into the Beast Tower, they encounter fierce resistance. One hero warns, "Stop, it's dangerous if you go now," but is met with a defiant, "This is the time to attack." A powerful demon unleashes an explosive attack, shattering the surroundings. Meanwhile, another hero, clad in golden armor, braces for impact, determined to hold the line against the onslaught. In the chaotic battle, a powerful blast of energy surges. Draxen, in his fearsome beast form, unleashes a terrifying roar, his eyes glowing red with rage. He's clearly overwhelmed by the enemy's magic. Meanwhile, heroes like Ralph Schmitz and another warrior brace themselves, witnessing the ease with which their magic was deflected. They exclaim in disbelief, "His magic! And he deflected it that easily?" This encounter highlights the immense power of their foes. Within the Tower of Beasts, Draxen, in his fearsome beast form, unleashes a terrifying roar, his eyes burning with rage. He's overwhelmed by the hero's magic. Meanwhile, other demon kings gather, sensing the immense, ominous demonic energy. Some heroes struggle to breathe, choking on the toxic air. Suddenly, a magnificent, fiery phoenix appears, radiating a blinding light, marking a shift in the battle. Amidst a fiery inferno, Berje, now adorned with powerful phoenix wings, unleashes a blinding light. He declares his intent to prevent Draxen from collecting more demonic energy. Meanwhile, a tense scene unfolds where other demon kings acknowledge Pale as Draxen's trump card, but one vows to stop Draxen's plans. The heroes prepare for a final push, with Berje warning them not to leave their protective barrier. In the heart of fiery chaos, a group of powerful warriors, including a masked man with red hair, stand ready. He scoffs at someone's annoying mana. Suddenly, a monstrous beast demon roars, demanding to know who he is. The red-haired warrior, with a sinister grin, unleashes a powerful attack, leaving the beast demon stunned by his overwhelming power.